Basketball action as UAPB takes on Texas Southern. Next on WB 2249.
From the Johnson Complex in Pine-Bluff, Arkansas, it's time for the SWAC College Basketball Game of the Week. Tonight it's a real catfight as the Tigers of Texas Southern calling on the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Hello again, everybody. Stan Smith, and welcome to our telecast. Joined by Stan Luter tonight. We're ready for SWAC basketball. Coach Robert Moreland at Texas Southern, even though he, along with Pine-Bluff, both been through a rough preseason, they see this really begins the SWAC year.
Both of these teams need this basketball game. Texas Southern's won 2 in a row. Arkansas Pine-Bluff's got to get some W's tonight. Big ball game, very big.
UAPB has only played 3 games at home. They're 1-2 on this home floor, playing very well when they have the opportunity to get before this home crowd. Let's take a look at our 4 keys to the game. First of all, for the Tigers of Texas Southern.
Texas Southern's got to play their own basketball game. That means a half-court game on the offensive end as well as the defensive end. And they've got to put pressure on Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Pine-Bluff averages about 20 turnovers. Texas Southern would like to have them make about 20 turnovers tonight. Arkansas Pine-Bluff has to have a quick start tonight. They've been outscored by about 20 points at home in the first half. That can't happen tonight, and they've got to force the tempo. Arkansas Pine-Bluff wants to run. Texas Southern wants to snarl the ball. Push it or shove it. It's got to be tough tonight.
Well, the game plans are there by the coaches. It relies on the players, and 2 of our Reebok ones to watch tonight. One player's 6-3 plays much bigger than that. Chris Miller of Texas Southern.
Chris Miller's never seen a jump shot he didn't like. I love him. He goes inside, he goes outside. Look at that. 16 points and 10 rebounds. He's taken 123 three-point shots. You're going to enjoy Chris Miller of Texas Southern University. But there's a guy that's dynamite, instant excitement, Jeremy Jefferson, the number 5 rebounder in the entire country at almost 12 plus 12 points a game. Jeremy Jefferson is excitement. He's going to have a big game tonight for Arkansas Pine-Bluff to get this win.
Well, a couple of key players for both these sides tonight. One of the players that will also be very instrumental is Ricky Bennett. He, of course, is their 2-guard with point guard skills. He'll be one of the instrumental guys for Texas Southern. Starting lineup and the tip-off in a moment.
Yeah, right.
This Southwestern Athletic Conference broadcast is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of SWAC basketball and the family of SWAC universities. By Colgate Sparkling White, so they'll notice your Colgate smile. And by Speed Stick Ultimate by Minute. No stick is stronger, no stick lasts longer.
Well, these 2 teams are ready to tee it up here as we take a look at our Bank of America starting lineups for Texas Southern. Chris Miller, the one that we're going to watch, along with Butler, Underwood, Bennett, and Hollis, will start tonight for Coach Robert Moreland as they try to improve their record from 3-10 tonight. Pine-Bluff will open this way on our Bank of America starting lineup. Allman, Jefferson, they're one to watch, along with Vickers, while it'll be Hackworth, along with Gibson. Gibson starting in place of the injured Brandon Jones in the backcourt tonight for the Golden Lions. So both teams are poised as right now. A good look at Robert Moreland. Now it is 26th year at the helm of Texas Southern, his 37th year of college basketball coaching. And while on the other end, Harold Blevins is a man that has been here in his 6th year now at the head coach of Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and a man that hopes to try to come up with a victory tonight. There you get a good look at him. He is a graduate of this university and was called Arkansas A&M and in 1965, an All-American guard. They say he, along with another one of their fine guards, Mac Allen, were virtually unstoppable. Let's see if his team's unstoppable tonight going up against Texas Southern.
They tell me he could really play basketball. Said he put up 45 one night in the basketball game. The first guy from this school to ever be drafted in the NBA with the Knicks back in '65. Tremendous athlete. Let's see if he coaches his team tonight.
And those 45, he just kept playing in the second half. We're ready for the jump ball. The tap is controlled. Jefferson got the tap, but it comes in the hands of Hollis. Rakeem Hollis, nicknamed Rocky, running the attack for Texas Southern. That's, of course, Chris Miller, number 3, roaming the baseline. Butler on the high post. Left side, they get it to Underwood. Underwood just becoming eligible, playing only his 8th game. Inside, trying to get it low to Bennett. Bennett in traffic. Another tap up inside, no good, and finally comes off to Texas Southern. To Pine-Bluff, as Allman will rebound it off, and they'll get it ahead. Running the show is Thaddeus Hackworth, young man from Dallas, Texas. 6 foot, 175 junior. They roam outside with Gibson. Darian Gibson playing in place of Brandon Jones, a fine freshman that has taken over the starting lineup job. And the first turnover by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And you can see, Stan, they're definitely trying to look for that inside game right now.
Got to go inside to the big fella Jefferson, and both teams started out in man-to-man.
Underwood with a little step back, and the 6'9" senior makes his first field goal of the night, and it's a 2-0 lead here by Texas Southern. We've played right now about 1 minute and 8 seconds. UA Pine-Bluff, the Golden Lions. Again, I pointed out only their 4th home game. They're 1-2 in their home games, and they're going to toss the ball away. A pretty tough pass out inside that time from Hackworth, trying to hit along the post to Michael Vickers in the Pine-Bluff, Arkansas product. Could not hang on to it, and Coach Moreland looks at Pine-Bluff coming out in some press and talking to his Tigers to try to beat that as Bennett gets it down low to Underwood, and it's stolen away.
Early game jitters. Both teams have had entry passes they didn't make good passes to. Bounce passes softer.
James Allman, make that Charles Allman, took it deep. Hackworth in for a one-hander. Rolling layup is good. Thaddeus Hackworth, averaging only 6 points, drives to tie the game at 2.
And just as we expected, Arkansas Pine-Bluff trying to put pressure on the inbounds play. Get a turnover. They got
and
it.
A steal, second turnover of the night by Texas Southern, but now they've given it right back. 3 turnovers already early here for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. By the way, it is extremely warm in this arena tonight. And these youngsters are going to be well tested, as will the announcers and the coaches tonight.
Definitely the announcers. And it's not warm. It's hot in here.
Pine-Bluff getting an opening layup. And again, Hackworth taking it all the way down the middle and taking it into traffic. Nice little use of the right hand as he got that one away out of the reach that time of Butler.
Keep it out of the defender's hand. Protect it.
Chris Miller, there's a 3. Got
Bingo!
it. Chris Miller, yes, sir. He points over to the TV table and said, that's what you're looking for, I think. And it's a 5-2 game.
6'3", 220 pounds, just in case you wanted to know.
I love that comment. He never met a jump shot he didn't like.
No, sirree, but he can shoot, and he's going to put up some.
17:40 to go in the first half. SWAC basketball tonight from Arkansas Pine-Bluff. The first time a basketball game has been televised from Arkansas Pine-Bluff. We, of course, have done their football team.
Had a good season this year, went 6-5, but you see Texas Southern already switching defense, playing a little 2-3 zone now.
Little soft left-handed layup that time. Inside would not go, as Vickers tried for the little left-handed layup. And the rebound, Texas Southern. They lead by 3. Ricky Bennett working outside, maybe one of the keys to the game. He played point guard last year. They've taken him out to the 2 guard now. Chris Miller, that's almost downtown Pine-Bluff, and the rebound comes off the opposite side with the number 5 rebound of the country, Jefferson. And here's Hackworth. Good ball movement to the far side to Allman. Rebound comes off to Miller. Working the attack into the forecourt. Rocky Hollis. Hollis is a sophomore out of Tyler, Texas. He was a Prop 48 player last year. He's playing for the first time now here for Texas Southern the last 2 years.
I think he's improving with every basketball game. His decision making is getting better.
And his drive's not bad. Miller can't finish it up, and there's Jefferson with his second rebound of the night. Still a 3-point lead by the visiting team of the maroon and gray here tonight. The Tigers of Texas Southern is down inside. Another layup will not roll inside, and that time Charles Allman got a pretty good look inside. 4 minutes deep into the opening half. Very little stoppage of the play so far as they work it at long range. Ramin Underwood out at the high post. That's Butler with a fall away. That'll be short. Rebound Miller. Back out, and they'll get a fresh shot clock. They won't use it, though, as Hollis lofts a 3. Jefferson off with his 3rd rebound.
And already active on Jefferson, both of our players. Miller's taking shots. Jefferson's going to the glass. 3 rebounds in the first 4 minutes.
One thing Pine-Bluff said, they had to get Jefferson off early. He's got to get some touches here, doesn't he?
He's got to look to shoot the ball. Got to score right now.
And they still can't get the roll. But the rebound is clawed out of there, and nice done by Michael Vickers. Inside, a little layup that time. Great entry pass into Allman, and he's fouled. And that'll send UAPB to the foul line with the first free throws of the night.
One of the things we talk about, Sam, is getting good post entry. There was a little forced triangle right there. Get the ball right inside to the post. You got to make that layup, though. You got to make that when you got the chance. Allman, push it a little bit, get the foul, go to the line.
61% is all that this team shoots on the foul line. On the other end, they cannot get into a foul shooting contest, as Texas Southern is the best in the SWAC, shooting 73% at the line. Allman will have one more after missing the first one. Stan, great to be in Pine-Bluff again. Has worked down the road in Little Rock for several years as the voice of the Razorbacks, and nice to be back in Arkansas.
Good homecoming. Everybody's been so nice to us today, too. I like this.
Down inside, blocked, knocked away by Butler, rebounded inside. Allman still can't get it to go. I'll tell you what, their field goal shooting inside, it made only one. That was that driving layup by Hackworth. Still 5-2 as we've locked on only 7 points for the game so far. And we've played 5 minutes now. Trying to force it inside Butler, and he's called for a travel. Texas Southern now with their third turnover. 3 now on UAPB. And the first sub of the night will come off the bench for Golden Lions, as it'll be Antoine Emsweller. He'll be coming in, but he'll have to wait till after a timeout. Early going, 5-2, Texas Southern.
Thanks, Mark.
Forward first half coverage of SWAC basketball. Southern off to a 3-point lead. If you'd like to find out more about your favorite SWAC team, be sure to go to their website at www.swac.org. You'll find out about the top scorers, rebounders, and your favorite team. Go to the web and enjoy the SWAC. Well, a good look along the sidelines of Harold Blevins in his 6th year. 25 years at Hartford Community College up in Bel Air, Maryland. 340 wins in that community college. He just dominated there as they continue to have great teams year out and year in. His club right now trailing by 3. They need to get off to an early start. Can they do it with Hackworth? No. Rebound battle for. Good rebound by Vickers and a push and a shove. It'll be out of bounds. As a personal foul is going to go on 32. That'll be on Underwood. That's his first second-team foul.
Sam, we talked about it in the opening that Arkansas Pine Bluff's only averaging about 26 points in the first half. They've had poor shooting right now. I'll attribute that to nerves and wanting to get off to a good start. Let's see what they do the next 4 minutes.
Well, they finally sobbed it inside as Michael Vickers scores. And it's a 1-point game, 5-4, 14:34 to go in the first half.
But this is a TSU tempo right now.
Vickers, by the way, couple of great games back-to-back against Southern and Alcorn. 16 and 14 points. 16 is season high, so maybe that's a omen of things to come. Underwood from 3. Rebound Miller. Rebound Vickers, number 4 of the night. Oh, he's going to easily get that double figures in rebounding. It's the scoring they've got to worry about.
Scored exactly.
Jefferson's already had 9 double-doubles this year. Tries to work on that first basket. Tip up no good that time by Emsweller. And the rebound comes off to Bennett. Texas Southern. Again, they'll stay in that half-court game or throw that 3 at you. Rebound comes off. Emsweller, 6'8", 237 out of Lakeview, Arkansas. Gets his first rebound of the night. He's a pretty good force inside, too, we understand, Steve.
Yeah, and you can look at those long arms, got some athleticism, just got to learn how to play the basketball game now. Getting better every game.
Good spacing between Emsweller, who turns for the layup and scores. Need I say more about his inside moves as he gives the hometown Golden Lions their first lead of the game, 6-5.
Good footwork out of a 6'8" player.
I was about to say they got great spacing between he and Jefferson on the high post, too, giving them both a little space to roam. First substitute off the bench for Texas Southern is Markel Timmons, number 1. I saw him shooting 3s before the game got started, and you better not leave him open.
He can nail them.
He will drain it on you. 47% from the three-point line for Timmons. Speaking of three-pointers, Miller, he's fouled, and that's a three-point shot. And the foul is going to go on Jefferson, and he knew he got too much contact, and Miller shoots 3 free throws.
SWAC basketball lesson number 2. Let's see how much you paid attention from a week and a half ago. You never, ever foul a three-point shooter.
What was that again? You never, ever foul.
Ever. And not only that, you don't foul anybody in the last 10 seconds of the shot clock. There were 2 seconds on the shot clock when you foul. Double mistake. I have to take your, make you light your torch. Take your torch away.
Newcomer of the year in the SWAC last year, the sophomore Chris Miller is going to miss the front end of the first 3. Couple of substitutes waiting on the sideline. They'll come after the second free throw here. Unless one of them, of course, is replacing Miller, and then he must make the third for them to get in. makes the second.
Sam, I don't think that the officials have recognized, unless somebody did, they didn't tell us, that the shot clocks are off right now. The shot clock to our right, the end of Arkansas Pine-Bluff is at 35, TSU's is at 30, and that's where the women's was. I don't know if they've reset it. I don't know if maybe we can find out during a break or something.
Miller again, a couple of more shots coming here as new man in for Texas Southern. Checking in is Jamal Clark, number 30, a freshman out of Houston Sterling High School. He'll play back on that back line defensively, and also they check into the game. Coming in number 13 will be Gregory Grady, another one of those players just becoming eligible at midterm. And another good-sized body inside. Hackworth really trying to create with the drive. Shot from long range, a three-point rainbow, and it's good. Brandon Jones, again suffering from an injured foot, comes in and drills that one.
A kid that's got great potential as a youngster that can shoot the basketball. That's his 7th three-pointer, but you saw that was from downtown.
And the 4th turnover by Texas Southern in a half-court game. That's one thing that obviously they do not like to do, is Harold Blevins looking on one end, and you can see the perplexity on the face of Robert Moreland, saying that's not our half-court game.
That's not what I want. But you see, Arkansas is trying to push the ball just a little bit more, run something, go inside out. That's why they come to double stack this time. Let's see if they go inside and come to the shooter. That
Brandon Jones, a 27% three-pointer, will try again. That rainbow won't go. Nice chip for control, and comes out of there, and it'll be ahead by Clark. Down low goes to Grady off the baseline. Had to change that shot in midair. Rebound battle for it inside. They still battle for it and finally put up no good. Grady tried for a tip. Out of bounds. It'll belong to UAPB.
Wow.
And with 11:50 left to go here in the first half, a 9-7 lead by the Golden Lions, as they've got a 2-point lead, 9-7 over Texas Southern. Our SWAC basketball continues from UAPB and Pine-Bluff after this timeout. One of the great stories, Texas Southern had come up with a win over Houston, a big win for them. Ironically, 3 years ago when they got off to an 0-8 start, they went to Hawaii and beat Houston. Only thing they did that year, after that 0-8 start, went on to win the SWAC championship. So Coach Moreland says maybe it'll happen again. By the way, nice 3-hour conversation you had with Coach Moreland the other day.
Well, hey, what can I say? I mean, he was in Houston. I was in Atlanta. We had to talk. Had a lot of things we had to talk about. But, wow, he's a great guy. And he said, that got us going. They won this game late in December. He said, hopefully that's going to get them going there. They've won 3 out of the last 4. We'll see. 2 of his outstanding players of years gone by, Kevin Adams along with Kevin Granger on the bench for Coach Moreland tonight, as UAPB tosses away. That's their 4th turnover. Coming back into the game for UAPB was going to be Michael Vickers, and going out is going to be Darian Gibson. Gibson had stayed in despite the fact that Jones, the man he replaced in the starting lineup, were in there together. He comes in on their 3-guard offense. Plays the 3-guard, will go to the 2, sometime may play the 1. Full court man-to-man pressure right now for Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
Timmons trying to throw it cross-court, and there's 5 turnovers by Texas Southern. And if these guys have some nerves going right now with his television appearance, it is quite apparent, as they have tossed it away with great regularity here for the last few moments.
But a few of those turnovers now, you have to say, are just careless mistakes, not taking advantage of where opportunities are to pass the ball. 14 turnovers TSU averages. They've already got 6.
2-point lead by UAPB with the ball. Chris Miller back in for Texas Southern, by the way. There's a tap inside and almost back up and good by Jones. Rebound comes off to Texas Southern. And a whistle and a bumping foul coming into the forecourt on Hackworth. Referees for tonight's game. Our referee is Lim Jones. The 2 umpires tonight are Cedric Jordan along with Bill Miter.
And Sam, at the tempo of this basketball game right now, we're almost at 10 minutes. The one thing I see is that turnovers and shots are really effective. The officials have letting the guys play, but the guys are making errors. They're not taking care of the basketball. They're not really concentrating. Yes, you're playing hard right now, but you've got to start making plays. Look at all those inside shots that both teams have missed. Hopefully they'll settle down and play better now.
Brandon Jones forcing Bennett to give that one up, so another turnover on Texas Southern. And they'll give it back to UAPB as Brandon Jones, the freshman out of Fordyce, Arkansas. By the way, had 16 against Beta, one of the top teams in the country, for his high for the season. Good show and go by Emsweller. Takes it to the basket, was trying to put a shot up and got the foul. Let's see if they're going to give him 2. May have caught him on the floor. No, they are going to give him 2.
You like this. Getting the ball about 18 feet away from the ball and then driving to the hole. He's long at 6'8". He's got the ability to get in there and reach out for layups. That time he draws contact. And they're really excited about this kid. 6'8", sophomore, didn't play last year. He's raw.
Well, this 61% foul shooting club is now 0 for 3 is UAPB. Grady going out of there. Also exiting for Texas Southern. They'll take Clark out of the lineup. Butler is back in and gets the rebound. So he, Clark, also back in for them is Hollis. There's collision at center court. They angle it down inside to Underwood. Gets it back out to Miller. 3's on its way. And the rebound comes off to Emswiller.
Good look that time. He's got to stay with that shot. Faded away at the end.
Still a 2-point lead by UAPB. Only 1 in 12 so far this year, but they have played very well on their home floor. Again, a win, 63-60. That one coming over Mississippi Valley. They lost by 6 points to Alabama State and by 7 to Alabama A&M. Oh, Jefferson looked to try to put that one back. Miller and Bennett, 2-on-1. Oh, nice. And Miller lays it in.
Good give and go. Pass. Keep an angle, then drive it to the hole. But did you see my man Jefferson? Did you see him leap?
Must be the shoes, Money.
Must be the shoes.
Man, was he up there. It's a tie game at 9-9. Second tie of the game. 9:54 to go first half. Jefferson feeds it into a hornet's nest down low. Thanks a lot. We've got a jump ball, and the error stays with UAPB.
As good as Jefferson's a leaper, he's got to take that shot. Just go inside the paint and go over people. Don't want to pass from that close range.
UAPB brings Gibson back in. New man coming in is Billy Hall, number 15. Gibson, number 32. Hackworth, along with Jones, will check out for UAPB. You know, Jefferson's a great story. He's a walk-on.
Yeah, walked on from this area, has come in and just really played, has made himself into one of the best players in the country. Like I said, number 5 in rebounds in the USA.
Working off the baseline, taking it strong to the hoop that time as they try to angle it off that baseline. And that time Gibson draws another foul, but he was passing off, so it's going to go out of bounds. Texas Southern now getting their 4th team foul here of the half. 2 so far. Emswiller getting a nice little easy inbound pass and scores to make it 11-9 UAPB.
Underwood turned his head. Emswiller stepped right under and made the layup.
Bennett along with Miller and Hollis working outside. Underwood, one of those inside. He tries to drop step inside. Shot no good. Follow up underneath is good. And Butler scores.
And one of the things that Texas Southern does a really good job of is crashing the glass. At time, 3 maroon shirts, around the ball, put it in. It's easy. You got to box out if you're Pine-Bluff.
Working the ball ahead is Darian Gibson. Gets it out long range to Jefferson. Almost losing out of bounds that time, Vickers. And this time they get it to Jefferson, but he's bumped from behind, and it was poked out of his hands and out of bounds. Last to touch it was Butler of Texas Southern.
You know, this is misleading a lot about Arkansas's record. I mean, they lost to Ole Miss. They lost to Baylor, as you mentioned. You know, also a tough SMU team, my good friend Mike DeMint. And then Alabama. So they played some very tough basketball teams. So sometimes records aren't always what they say. They'll get better as SWAC play progresses.
You mentioned, of course, those TCU's, UTEP, and New Mexico State, all very good clubs that they also played in that non-conference schedule. And you'll find out the SWAC plays a lot of road games early on. They're called money games for these clubs. Oh, what a take! That time Hollis just said, look at me, and jams it home. And Texas Southern's back in the lead by 2.
Show me what you're working with.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Great play by Hollis, 6'2", and he's up there.
Just takes us and whoop. There it is.
8:42. Even the UAPB fans are buzzing about that one here.
I'm telling you.
UAPB goes to Emswiller. Rebound Jefferson. Can he score? He does.
Hollis took the elbow right there on the drive.
They needed that one by Jefferson. He's got 5 rebounds and now a field goal. And right now, Hollis, I believe, got a mouthful of elbow, and he is bleeding from the mouth as the game is tied at 13. And they'll quickly take Hollis to the sideline. He caught an elbow, and not only the cut on the lip, but also the teeth is something got to be concerned about, and he is really, really writhing in pain there. Coming in to replace him again is Timmons back on the floor for Texas Southern. Hackworth comes back in for Pine-Bluff. Let's take a look inside.
So I think it happens before that. It happens on the drive when Hakeem gets hit. But whatever it is, it shook him up a little bit.
Bennett on the move for Texas Southern down the lane, stripped clean off his knee, but last touch, they say, by Emswiller. Out of bounds to Texas Southern is again Hollis still being administered to down on that bench. And again, I think what they put on that cut will hurt worse than the cut, trust me.
No question about it.
Miller in the corner. Three-pointer under pressure, air ball, rebounded, finally tapped that time. Good job by Vickers, and it comes to Jefferson for his 6th rebound.
Got to push it if you're the Lions.
Left-handed jumper by Jones, rebounded easily, and here comes Bennett back the other way. We told you he might be one of the keys to the game, dishes it inside. There's Timmons off the wing. Hackworth had a piece of it, comes off to Timmons. Bennett for 3. Rebound, Underwood shoved off to get the rebound. That's his 2nd. And the 15th foul here called on Texas Southern.
If I could talk to both teams right now, I would tell them to go up and attack the glass. All the shooters close range are fading away. They're worried about the shot being blocked as opposed to going up and using their athleticism and maybe drawing a foul. Go attack the glass.
Well, Harold Blevins along with UAPB on their home floor battling Texas Southern and Coach Robert Moreland. Right now we've settled nothing with 7:52 to go in the half, tied at 13.
Call your cable operator today. This is the SWAC. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn State, Grambling State, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State, Prairie View A&M, Southern University, Texas Southern. This is the SWAC.
Our SWAC game of the night all tied at 13-13. Texas Southern and Arkansas Pine-Bluff, and a good crowd here tonight, Stan.
Got a great crowd, a little enthusiasm, little AKAs. Everywhere you go, you find some AKAs. Ski-wee. I ain't supposed to be doing that. I get in trouble. They happen. All that pink and green.
I was going to say, not wearing much pink here tonight. I got to talk to those girls.
Wesley, there's the pink in his mouth right there. It's hurting it there.
Take a look over as Rocky Hollis still getting administered to on the sideline for Texas Southern. Got an elbow in the mouth. And, of course, was sent to the sideline just a few moments ago. Closing in on 7 minutes to go here in the first half, tied at 13. Hackworth, who has 2 of the 13 UAPB points, gets it into Jefferson, has to fight to hang on. Emswiller takes it to the basket, and it is going to be a offensive foul call on Emswiller.
Emswiller never got control of the basketball that time. I thought they may actually call him for a travel, but they got him for the charge. Just a little bump. Again, what Texas Southern's done to Pine-Bluff, they've taken them out of some of their offensive rhythm. Pine-Bluff wants to run, Southern won't let them do it. But now you got to handle the pressure.
Grady inbounds to Butler. You saw the pressure by UAPB. Back to Gregory. Grady. Again, just becoming eligible, transferred from Pensacola, Florida Community College. Here's Timmons. I told you he could shoot that 3, and he knocks in his first of the night, and that puts Texas Southern back in the lead 16-13, matching their largest lead at 3. They enjoyed it 5-2 early on.
That jump shot by Timmons really looks strong. He's not considered a shooter, runs the team, but made that. There's another one.
Answer that one, a 3-point goal by Hackworth, but it's a 16-all tie again. 5 ties so far in the game of this evenly matched contest from Pine-Bluff. Good give and go. Bennett in traffic. Emswiller got a piece of it. Bennett stays with it, and finally a bump and a foul. And he's going to shoot 2, and they may have caught Thaddeus Hackworth underneath. They did, and that's his 2nd foul. Bennett is at the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Nice little post entry right there with the give and go. And what you like about Bennett knows how to score. There's the foul right there. That's the first one. And there's the second one. And he says, I'm going to block the shot, too.
Bennett for a foul shot, hammers it hard off the back iron. 76% foul shooter, rather uncharacteristic of Bennett. Substitution back in for Arkansas Pine-Bluff as Gibson comes back in the lineup. Jones will sit down as Bennett will miss both of them, and the rebound comes off for the aforementioned Gibson.
Wow, shoots 76%, misses 2.
Only 2 of 5 so far for Texas Southern. 6:35 to go in the opening half. 16 all. Down inside of Jefferson, poked away by Butler, and a turnover, number 7 by the Golden Lions.
Got to be a bounce pass to the post.
Bennett again in traffic.
Nice
pass inside, got it low that time. And as they try to get that one up and in, and the basket tried by Clark, and a foul is called. Goes on Gibson, his first.
Get the ball down in transition. You're expecting Bennett to take the shot, but there's Clark right there. Hands up, ready to go to the glass, and draws the foul.
2 shots coming by Jamal Clark. He started early in the year, but then moved to the bench. Has played well, and as a matter of fact, played very well in the Grambling game. One of the wins that they picked up, and the coach credited him for one of the reasons they won that game.
Another one of these young kids at Texas Southern, great potential, a good upside, only going to get better at 6'8".
Checking out of the Texas Southern lineup, the UAPB lineup, Emsweller. Vickers checking back in as they wait for the second foul shot. And that one's good as well. You might expect that from Clark. He's an 86% foul shooter for the Tigers.
Nice stroke.
18-16. Texas Southern leads UAPB.
Want to see if they'll go inside to Jefferson a couple of times. He's got to get some touches. I don't think he scored.
He's got 1 field goal as they try to force it inside. Jefferson battling for the rebound. It's on the floor again. Volley comes out to Bennett. Bennett whipping it behind his back, but going for the steal that time. And it'll be a personal foul. That'll be on UAPB. They'll call that one on Darrell Shelton. Shelton, of course, their starting quarterback for the Golden Lions in football. What do you throw? Something like 9 touchdown passes?
Threw 11 touchdown passes, led them to a 6-5 record. They were right in contention to go to the championship, lost a couple of games down the stretch. But this kid can throw. He's a great athlete.
First game against Mississippi Valley. And now playing here, they really like his intensity. And you can see him right up on Grady. Bennett looked at a 3, puts it on the floor, has it stripped clean, and they try to save it, and they do. What a great play that time by Shelton.
Just talked about him, got his hands in, knows how to play the game.
Gibson looking for someone to throw to inside. That would be Jefferson. Instead goes cross court, and it goes to Vickers, and Vickers jumps in, and he's got 4, and we're tied again at 18. Ball was loose, and it gives an opportunity for Chris Miller to come in for Texas Southern. While Clark will go out after making those 2 free throws, Miller will work against this press along with Timmons and Bennett. Timmons inside. They get it low to Grady. Nothing there. He dribbles out. Timmons, look out. There's that 3. Got a short arm that one, and a rebound inside, and a pushing foul. Goes against UAPB.
So I'd like to see Texas Southern, when they get this basketball on that transition, they had the numbers, try to drive the ball to the hole, pick up a foul, get themselves and set their defense up. Big guy took it out that time. They reversed it. They're able to get the foul. That's just a short jump shot, but fortunately you got hands. There's 1, 2, 3. Catch the ball, and there's a foul over the top someplace.
Personal foul's going to go on Vickers, his first. That, however, is the 10th team foul called on UAPB. So 1 and the penalty here for Chris Miller. UAPB, Lavelle Fogel checked in from Bearden, Arkansas. And they call him, could be one of the best shooters on the club, but he just does not shoot enough.
Can you believe it? A guy that doesn't like to shoot the basketballs. He's a street guy. If he makes 1 or 2, he's going to shoot the ball. If he misses his first couple of shots, hey, he may not take another one the rest of the night. Be interesting to see what they do in these possessions coming.
Miller missing again, as he is 2 for 4 tonight. After the rebound by Butler, they got it to Miller, and a whistle and a rebound foul. It'll be called down inside on Grady. His first, team number 6. We don't relate to a guy that doesn't take enough shots.
No, never at this table. A guy that doesn't take enough shots or doesn't eat enough food. That's not here. But Miller's got the shooter's mentality. He's going to take shots, keep firing up, and that's what he does with the TSU offense. He's got to start finding the range.
Tie game at 8-all with 5 minutes to go in the half. In the pass, trying to get it to Vickers. Poke 3 by Miller, and out to Timmons.
Bounce pass.
Not inside low to Butler. Butler trying to turn on Jefferson. Does. Jump hook, no good. Tipped out of there right in the waiting hands of Darian Gibson. And Gibson's call for double dribbling. He was looking ahead to see what Jefferson was going to do on the right wing. And when Jefferson started cutting inside, he just took too many dribbles and wanted to pick the ball up.
I think he was looking for the high wire act to Jefferson. Took his eyes off the ball, lost concentration. Another turnover by Pine-Bluff.
So as Texas Southern struggling a little bit for offense tonight, they average 62, 57 for UAPB so far this year. And we're tied at 18 with 4.5 to go in the half. Bennett a little show and go. Timmons for three. And the rebound comes off from the offside, and that's Charles Ullman. Ullman from Kansas City, Mo, a graduate of Barton County Community College. Needs to look for his shot a little more, they say, as Vickers rears at the elbow. Rebound inside to Miller. You know, the one thing we said on the opening is that Miller at 6'3" is going to play a lot bigger than a 6'3" player as Timmons. Trying to get a screen from Grady, got bumped and lost the ball out of bounds, but Chris Miller is a real athlete.
Oh, no question about it. You watch him take the jump shots and you forget about the fact that he's averaging 10 rebounds in a basketball game. A lot of times he follows up shots, but he also goes inside and battles at 220 pounds, 6'3". He's a kid that can take it. Was a football player, obviously.
Michael Vickers out. Antoine Emswiller is back in, number 40 for UAPB.
See the special.
Ian Jefferson setting the double pick. They get it over to Ullman. And a steal right in the hands of Bennett. Bennett made a nice little move, sidesteps the man trying to stop it down on the other end as he lays it in, and that's his first field goal tonight.
Make you lose your mind. A little soft, easy pass that Bennett anticipates, takes it down for the layup.
2018, the Tigers of Texas Southern lead. Emswiller, nice drop step move, but can't finish. He goes right back after it. Still can't get it to go. Tipped inside that time by Ullman, but comes off to the Tigers. 3:16 to go. Miller, look out. Three-pointer tipped by Grady. Turned by Gregory, still won't go. Miller battling inside with Gibson knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to Texas Southern. 3:06 left to play in the first half, but again, really anybody's ball game. Exactly what UAPB wanted to do. They didn't quite get off to the early start, but they wanted to stay close, and they are. Texas Southern on this basket leads by 2.
Is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of SWAC basketball and the family of SWAC universities. By Colgate Sparkling White, so they'll notice your Colgate smile. And by Speed Stick Ultimate by Minute. No stick is stronger, no stick lasts longer.
SWAC basketball tonight from Pine-Bluff, Texas Southern leading by 2. By the way, a reminder that the SWAC tournament will be held in Birmingham this year. Here's the number on your screen to call for ticket information or go to their webpage, www.swac.org. But call that number, get information, and be there, as the best of the SWAC will be coming to Birmingham this year for the tournament. The last part of February, or actually the second week of March.
Second week in March, we'll be right there.
Inbounded pass will come from Texas Southern. Bennett trying to get it in and does, down low. And a driving layup by Miller won't go. Emswiller comes off for the rebound. That time down inside for Texas Southern. They'd work Tommy Ballums in. Steal by Bennett, back the other way. 9 turnovers now by UAPB, and Bennett splits the defenders, lays it in, but he's traveling. Tommy Ballum, number 35, 6'5", 255 out of Jacksonville, Florida Christian High School. Defensive end on the Texas Southern football team, again number 35 on the bottom side of that defense, and guards Emswiller.
We'll clear out right now, see if they'll go. Oh, what a steal!
Steal by Timmons. Timmons with a driving layup, nice job.
He picked his pocket.
Timmons with his 5th point of the game, and the widest lead of the game now by Texas Southern, 22-18, as we've got 2:25 to go in the half. Packworth trying to drive in on Timmons. Rebound comes off to Miller.
Pine-Bluff right now, one and done. Need to settle down, spread the floor. A minute ago they had a lot of space, they don't have it now.
Timmons trying to bounce it inside to Ballum. A rebound as it comes off the floor, put up by Bennett. Bennett, of course, right now, as he's got a total of 4 points tonight. He lays that one up and good, and a timeout is going to be taken here by UAPB, not to let this one get away. You see the score, a 6-point lead. Good look at Harold Blevins. This is his alma mater. 1965 he graduated here. Let's take a look at the standings, brought to you by Coca-Cola, the SWAC. Take a look at who's hot and maybe who's not. Well, Alcorn State and Alabama State. 2 teams we'll see on Monday night on our SWAC game of the week, from Montgomery on top, followed by Southern University, Mississippi Valley, Alabama A&M. However, bringing up the rear, and these clubs still have an opportunity to make some noise in the SWAC. Texas Southern, Prairie View, Arkansas, Pine-Bluff, Grambling State, and Jackson State. Jackson State only 1-16, but I tell you what, Stan, they're going to make a team I think will be reckoned with before the year.
Oh, I agree. You know, you look at these teams in this second layer, and they've all played big-time teams and lost to them. There's some upsets coming, but I can't wait to see Alcorn play next week. Mr. Fleming. But look at this steal. Took it, picked his pocket, looks behind, see if anybody's coming. They're not, and lays it in with the left hand.
Got a lot of contact by Lavelle Pogue, but no free throw. But he does make the basket, and it's a 6-point lead. Widest lead of the game now by Texas Southern.
Good timeout by Coach Blevins right now. Got to settle his team down. Don't want this thing to get out of hand before the half.
Oh, you take a look, a couple of quick baskets, good couple of defensive stands. Hackworth from the left wing, no good. Jefferson had the rebound, strip clean, comes out of there, and Ballum is going to be called for carrying the basketball. Well, it was a fumble.
Fumble!
Defensive
Fumble!
end.
Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Texas Southern, two of the up-and-coming football squads this past year.
By the way, we did the game in the Astrodome, and he was one of the key players in that win over Prairie View A&M that night. And the good folks at Texas Southern enjoy their football and hopefully their basketball before the year's over. Inbound for UAPB. Straight away to Hackworth. Back in the right-hand point goes to Gibson. Gibson from 18, no good. Imsweller with a rebound. Swings it around to Jones, the left-hander. Brandon Jones with his second three of the game. Whittles the lead in half, 24-21.
Went inside, outside after a second possession, and that time Jones had his feet set and nailed the three.
We've got a $1:17 left to go in the first half. Timmons has it knocked away. Hackworth finally comes up with it, bumping with Bennett. Leaves it off to Jones. It'll be a foul on the pass-off, but 17 fouls now on Texas Southern. So will be one, and the penalty here taken as Hackworth on the deal.
And when you consider what could have happened, the possible slam dunk by one of the Arkansas Pine-Bluff players, probably a good foul that time by Ricky Bennett. Not give him some momentum, make a big play, take this crowd up. Good defense, dribbling into the double. You don't bring your guy into the double team. Cardinal rule that time by Bennett. Takes it, there's a steal, and their pass, you can see the push right there, and the possible two, but they go to the free throw line.
Thaddeus Hackworth, 71% free throw shooter. Right now, Pine-Bluff is 0 for 4, and they'll go 0 for 5 and don't get the bonus. So Hackworth again misses the bonus, and it's 24-21 now with 1:02 left to go. Texas Southern with the lead in the ball.
Wonder if Texas Southern try to go 2 for 1.
Bennett off the baseline. Offside is going to be fouled, and Imsweller was one that got a piece of him. Hackworth also got him on the arm as well. Let's see which way they're going to go. And they're going to go on Imsweller.
You know, this is an interesting thing. Keep in mind that both Bennett and Miller are about 6'2", 6'3", but they drive a lot. They take a lot of three-point shots. But you think of all the times tonight we've called their name, being inside 10 feet, in the paint, drives. That time Bennett with the left hand drives it and creates contact against the foul. Very smart players that are very diverse in their games, being able to go inside as well as outside.
By the way, in his home state of Mississippi, he was a high school teammate of Jonathan Bender. Of course, the young high school youngster that went in the draft in 1999 to Indiana.
Picayune, Mississippi.
26-21 on the free throws. Bennett now has a total of 6.5, and it's a 5-point lead by Texas Southern. 46 seconds to go. Jones for 3. Rebound comes off to Timmons. Markel Timmons brings it ahead, gives off to Bennett.
Unless it's something easy, you expect to see Southern take the last shot.
35 seconds to go. Got inside the Miller, step back at the foul line. Rebound. Imsweller comes down with a rebound. Dishes it off, and Hackworth brings it ahead. This will be the final shot. Probably taken here by UAPB. Is that time it's going to be Ballum knocking it out of bounds. And
good hands. You were ready.
Well, no,
you were ready.
My stat young lady took care of it for me here.
You saved him. You saved him over there. He wanted to shoot.
She stole the pass that was coming right at me here, you know.
Don't you just hate it when somebody takes your shot away from you?
All out of bounds to UAPB. They've got 13 seconds to go before halftime. A field goal here could tighten this thing down to a 3-point game. Imsweller gives it off. Gibson on the drive.
Gotta take your time.
Gives it out to Hackworth for 3. Rebound comes out, and Texas Southern's going to get a cripple on the other end. Baldwin will lay in. Tommy Baldwin with his first basket of the night makes it 28-21. And when you thought you had a chance to cut into the lead, you lose a triple on the other end.
That's why we talk so much about time and score, not only in the second half of the ball game, but in the first half. The jump shot, the three, taken a little too soon, and then Texas Southern able to take advantage of it. There's a run. Look at that. 4 shirts. 5. There's no Pine-Bluff player in the picture. 4, 3, 2, lay it in, go to the locker room.
Well, a warm evening here at UA Pine-Bluff as the Golden Lions have stayed close to the Tigers until just before halftime, the widest lead of the game by Texas Southern, and now they've got the lead with a score of 28-21. Back with halftime in a moment.
Now hiring for all management positions. Call 888-824-4395.
Welcome back to Pine-Bluff, Arkansas, where the first time ever their college basketball team is making a regular season debut on television tonight, as right now the Golden Lions unfortunately down by 7 as Texas Southern gets an easy basket just before the halftime break. But a good solid game by the Golden Lions can put them right back in the game, playing only their 4th game in their nice arena here at Pine-Bluff. Well, one of the reasons we always go around the SWAC is to meet some nice people, and we've got the opportunity to meet Dr. Lawrence A. Davis, Jr., who happens to be the chancellor here at UAPB. And Dr. Davis, thanks for the hospitality afforded us tonight.
Thank you so much for coming. We're so very happy to have this exposure.
You know, when you talk about the athletic programs, the 6 and 5 football program this year and the basketball program, even though you travel so much on the road, trying to get back at home and win some games, you're very proud of this athletic program.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to rebuild our athletic program. We had a football death penalty about 9 or 10 years ago, and so we made a tremendous turnaround. And, of course, it's a process that you have to go through to build a strong program to complement your academic program. Of course, we have a brand-new stadium that's first class, and so we're very optimistic about the future of our athletic program at the University.
This is all part of a campus growth, and the fact over $100 million in growth to this campus here in Pine-Bluff. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. The state has invested in this institution along with the federal government and private citizens, and we are very optimistic. We have 3 academic buildings under construction. We have the unsurpassed university in the nation in terms of technology. We have the first-class technology, even in the dormitory rooms, down to CP units for all of the teachers. And so we're very happy about the status of the university at this time.
So the University of Arkansas Pine-Bluff, if you want to play athletics, this may be the place. If you want to get a great education, Dr. Davis, I know this is the place as well.
This is it. We have many of our accreditations in place: nursing, education, North Central Association, technology, just the list, an entire list.
Well, Dr. Davis, again, thanks for the hospitality. Good luck in the second half of the game. Nice to visit with you.
We're going to win the game.
Oh, you heard it right here. Dr. Davis makes a prediction at halftime. 28-21 right now. Texas Southern has the lead. We'll be back as we continue with the SWAC basketball on the road after this timeout. Welcome back to our Ford at the Half program tonight. We're in Pine-Bluff, Arkansas, where the Golden Lions trail the Tigers of Texas Southern 28-21 in a game that has seen either club take a short lead, the other one come right back. Turnovers, some missed shots, a little nervous in the first going. Should be a great second half, though, as we come up for the game. It's also nice to come to the SWAC and watch the ladies play before the men. And tonight, Lacey Reynolds, the head coach of Texas Southern, his ladies won 73-54. And Lacey, congratulations on the win tonight. Tell us a little about your club.
Thank you, Sam. We have this is my first year with Texas Southern. We have a sort of different and unique basketball team in that we're returning approximately 13 young ladies from our team on last year.
Wow.
They finished 4th in the SWAC. We got off to a tough start because we had to play the top 2 teams on the road. We lost to Alcorn and Southern by a combined 9 points. So right now we're 2-3 in the conference with approximately 1 more road game before we take a 3-game homestand. So I told the young ladies coming out on this road trip, we have a chance to pull even. Let's just play as hard as we possibly can and try to position ourselves in the first round of the SWAC conference. The conference is pretty competitive right now. We have Southern, Alcorn, Alabama State, and Alabama A&M probably the head of the pack. But right now we're in good shape and we control our own destiny. Well, all we need to do is try to win the remainder of the games, the first round, and try to finish 6-3.
Well, of course, the ladies will converge on Birmingham for their semifinals and the finals as well, coming up on March the 9th and the 10th. Lacey, we've got about a half a minute here. I know it's unfair, but the comparison going from the head coach at Grambling for the men and now the women's coach, how does that vary?
Well, coaching is coaching. I'm glad to be back in coaching. I have a love for it, and it's what I try to do, and I try to tell people that I'm trying to deliver a positive message to young people that regardless of how your situation turned out, don't ever burn your bridges, be prayerful, and try to do a good job everywhere you go because somebody's always watching. So this might be a stepping stone for something else, but right now I'm truly enjoying working with the young ladies, and they look to have somebody good to give them some guidance and some direction. So we hope to continue playing well and try to put this thing in the right perspective, and when by the time SWAC tournament hits Birmingham, we hope to be there.
Well, Lacey Reynolds, your Lady Tigers looked awfully good tonight, and best of luck down the road, and nice to visit with you tonight.
Thank you.
Lacey Reynolds, again, the women's head basketball coach at Texas Southern. They win tonight. Can the men do it as well? We're at halftime. We'll find out more after this timeout on SWAC basketball.
New Colgate Sparkling White.
Our forward at the half continues in Pine-Bluff, Arkansas, as we greet you with a score, 28-21, as Texas Southern has a 7-point lead. That, by the way, is their largest lead of the basketball game, as UAPB led by 3 in the first half as well. Sam Smith along with Stan Luter back here at courtside of UAPB, and you could tell early on some nervousness on both sides of these clubs tonight, Stan.
Yeah, you expected that in a game like this, both first time on national TV, and it's a big ball game for both teams and need to win. But you got to settle down and play. Early mistakes for both teams are now shooting the ball a little bit better, and the defense is getting somewhat better too.
Let's take a look at our Budweiser stats at the half. Take a look at numbers, and there's that shooting, 10 of 35. Again for the Tigers, 9 of 30 for UAPB. Free throw shooting not much better, even though, of course, you see the 6 points better for the Tigers, and thus their lead here by 7 points.
Yeah, neither team's going to be able to give us a shooting clinic tonight, but what they have been able to do is get shots off. The free throws are things that Texas Southern's got to continue to go to the line. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, much better job there, too. And the turnovers, 11 turnovers at 12. 11 turnovers uncharacteristically too high for Texas Southern, about the average for Pine-Bluff. But both teams have got to settle down now. The rebounds is going to be the key. Rebounds going to the free throw line. The shooting percentage must go up. Whichever team can shoot the best and make free throws will have a great chance of winning this game.
We'll be back with more of our forward at the half as we'll continue from Pine-Bluff after we pause for a timeout. The Tigers of Texas Southern have the 7-point lead heading for the second half.
This Southwestern Athletic Conference broadcast is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of SWAC basketball and the family of SWAC University. By Colgate Sparkling White, so they'll notice your Colgate smile. And by Speed Stick Ultimate by Minin. No stick is stronger, no stick lasts longer.
Well, UAPB trying to come back from a 28-21 deficit at a halftime break, and it'll be very interesting to see which team kind of changes for the better. Obviously, Texas Southern would like to get in their half-court game, but unlike their half-court game, they'd like to run tonight, making some steals and making big baskets.
Well, when you've turned the ball over 11 times, it's an opportunity for you to get points off turnovers, get some easy baskets, as we saw at the end of the half. I think Texas Southern would be wise to try to push the ball a little bit and maybe extend this lead. Arkansas Pine-Bluff's got to do a much better job of shooting inside and also making passes to the post.
Let's take a look at some of our halftime highlights brought to you by Minin Speed Stick. As the halftime break again going with the first half action.
You know, it's the thing where you just got to get the ball down in transition. Nice little two-man game. There's a little fake in the layup by my man, Chris Miller. And then watch this. Watch the steal, the pickpocket. Take it down, lay it in. Boom, there it is. Nice play. Then you just got to take the ball, pass the ball aside. A nice little left-handed jump shot. I like that, the rhythm with Arkansas Pine-Bluff with Brandon Jones. Only a freshman. There's a nice pass inside. There's a shot. You got that. Arkansas Pine-Bluff's got to do a better job of penetrating and getting easy shots like that. Now watch this. Oh, who you mad at? Who's your daddy? That's a good play. Let's get the second half going.
Our Minin Speed Stick halftime highlights. Let's see if we can get some more to put together here in the second half. I thought I was on the disco there for a minute. My Lord, 28-21 is our
Music
score.
graphic.
Whew, boy, was that loud. 7-point lead here by Texas Southern as they work it off the baseline with Butler. Just underway, Texas Southern trying to alley-oop, and the aforementioned man, Hollis, who got the jam. And look at this. Jam on the other end by Gibson. So now UAPB breaks out on an early break and a 28-23 score.
Got to get some easy baskets, as we just said, in transition off turnovers.
Just underway in the second half. Hollis faked once, gets it out to Bennett. He squares for a three. Bennett kind of throws it off his hip. Rebound comes out to Underwood. Gets it down to Butler. Blocked that time by Jefferson. Comes off to Emsweller. Slides to the baseline. He tried to dump it back to Jefferson. A bad pass.
Bad pass, exactly.
13 turnovers now by UAPB. And a miss by Hollis. Is he going to miss there?
And Hollis was lucky that time. Obviously, his mouth is better, but he was very lucky they didn't call a technical foul on him also, because he hung on the rim as the ball went way into the third row.
Hollis' young man had took the elbow to the mouth early on in the first half. Back here in the second half with about 1:07 gone and a 28-23 lead by Texas Southern, the Travelers on the road. Hackworth on a drive. He'll be fouled on the way through by Texas Southern. And they'll draw that personal foul. It'll be on Rocky. Rocky Hollis draws his first team foul on Southern here in the second half. Inbounded pass, UAPB. Vickers outside to Jefferson. Down in low to Vickers again. It'll be blocked away, and coming over for the block, and the foul is Butler. Well, he got a lot of ball that time. Gets his second personal foul.
He really did. I don't know where he got him, if he got him anywhere low on the body, but that was a nice block. Great elevation.
At the line will be Michael Vickers. He had 4 points in the first half. Very strong player down inside. And again, as I pointed out, 16 and 14 points in his last two games.
Comes from the weak side. I don't know where the block came from. I don't know where the foul came from.
Foul shot's no good. So Vickers, they are now 0 for 7 at the foul line now for UAPB. Vickers, a 64% foul shooter. They're now 0 for 8.
And that's concentration. These guys are shooting them short, then they're shooting them long and fading away. Stay on the line and make your free throws.
18:37 to go in the half. Hollis works against Hackworth. To Underwood, elbow shot. Rebound comes off, and Emsweller, closing in on double figures and rebounding, gets his 8th. Off the baseline, Jefferson won't go. Rebound, Underwood. Well, Jeremy needs to get something down. He had only 2 points in the first half and had 9 rebounds.
Had 9 rebounds. He's going to go to the glass, but he's had some scoring opportunities. He hasn't taken them. Got to get the ball in his hands, either to shoot or the pass.
Underwood working on Jefferson down low. Hollis to the basket. Jefferson got one piece of him, and Emsweller got the other. And let's see who they caught. They caught Emsweller. No, excuse me, they caught Jefferson in second.
Jefferson maybe nicked him on the arm. I don't know exactly where, but I'll tell you what. Right to drive, there's a Kim takes the drive, and there is a block. Let it go.
At the line, Rocky Hollis. He's one of the players that his coach, Robert Moreland, calls a very special player. When he's on his game, he makes other people around him very good as he makes the first of 2 free throws.
Number 5, free throw shooter in the SWAC. A kid that has great ability. Like you said, Sam, solid player. It's going to only get better. We saw his athleticism in the first half with the dunk.
One more shot coming from the young man from Tyler, Texas. He'll miss that one. Jefferson comes off, and he's in double figures with rebounds with 10 now. 17:55 left to go here in the second half. 29-23. Texas Southern on the road with the lead. Hackworth, head of the key. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound down inside to Chris Miller. Miller, by the way, with 7 points to lead all scorers in the first half. Some company there as Timmons got 5 for Texas Southern. And on the foul, they'll call that on Hackworth, and that will be his 3rd foul of the night. Clock stops with the ball out of bounds, inbounded. Hollis worked on outside by Gibson. Again, their main shooter on the outside normally is Brandon Jones, the fine freshman, but he's been hampered with a bad foot. Emsweller made a block, but Butler comes away with it. Hollis with 15 on the shot clock, goes to Bennett. Bennett with a shot, got a bump from Jefferson trying to draw the foul, but doesn't, but makes the 3.
Did you see how Bennett sized it up? He took his time, got his shoulders squared, and nailed the 3.
9-point lead, biggest of the night now by Texas Southern, as the Golden Lions have got to get an answer here. Get it down to Vickers, knocked away and stolen by Miller.
Another one of those air passes in the post. It's got to be a bounce pass, man. It's got to be.
And now a travel that time as Hollis. Vickers actually reaching out to knock the ball away. Hollis reacted not well and took too many steps and travels, and the ball turns over. 12 turnovers now by Texas Southern. Hackworth out of there with 3 personal fouls as he'll sit down, and Jones, number 21, is back in.
Great form and technique that time on the jump shot by Bennett. Gets his shoulders square, finishes high, follows through.
Jones, the freshman out of Fordyce, Arkansas. Outstanding player there. Had 16 against Baylor early this year. They'll miss, and the rebound comes off to Hollis. Rocky looking for somebody up court. Bennett. Underwood against Insweller. Bennett trying to force it. Will get the rebound of his own pass and lays it in. He's got 5.5, 11 for the game now.
Knows for the basketball. Finds a way to score. Comes in averaging 17.
11 points now. Rebound comes off, and they'll get it by Butler over to Miller, and they'll give it to Hollis.
Pine-Bluff has to stop TSU right now. They got to stop this run.
Tipped away, and they'll do it that way with Vickers. He's got some help trailing. Vickers takes it in. Chris Miller knocks it away on the block and out of bounds.
Take that strong with 2 hands. He kind of faded a little bit, held it with 1 hand. Vickers made the play. You got to take it up to the basket with 2 and get the foul, get contact. It's good steal to driving, and watch it. See how he took it with 1 hand and lost it? See how the ball popped out of his hand? You got to take those basketballs up with strong. See, watch this. Pops out of his hands right there, and that cost him 2 points.
I think the official also saw that he had lost it because there was a lot of contact by Miller, but the fact it was a loose ball, he didn't call it. Down inside Vickers, we made mention a very strong player taken to the basket, and he will be fouled. And this time he'll go to the line to shoot a couple free throws. So 2 shots by Vickers. He's missed his only 2 opportunities. Vickers making his 17th steal just a moment ago. They are 0 for 9 now. This is something that's getting to be rather critical now, and Harold Blevins is going, what is the deal? We shoot those after every practice. You guys are drilling them.
And it's not like these kids can't shoot free throws. I mean, you look at Vickers is 64%, Jefferson's a 69% free throw shooter. You know, these are guys that can make some. Gibson shoots 63, Hackworth 70. But tonight, they're 0 for 0 for 0.
0-9 is the correct right now, going for 0-10 unless they make one here.
This would not be a perfect 10.
This will be one that'll maybe give them a positive something here, and they still won't get it.
Wow.
0 for 10 on the free throws. 34-23 is the score. 11-point lead here by Texas Southern. And the Tigers are doing exactly what they need to do. They're working their offense. They're taking the break if it's there. Miller for 2. He had a foot on the line, and Miller gets his 9th point on a jumper. 36-23. It's up to a 13-point lead.
Coach B, you might not get wait for the TV timeout. Might need to take this thing. They got to stop the bleeding soon.
15:30 to go. Jefferson looked like he was going to put that on the floor and take it, but was held up by Butler.
He should have taken that drive right there in the paint and make it. He's got too much athleticism not to shoot in the paint.
17 on the shot clock, knocked out of bounds by Bennett. It'll belong to UAPB. And with that, a timeout is called. So Texas Southern nursing a lead of 7 points at halftime, and now taking it all the way up to 13. 36-23 over UA Pine-Bluff here in Pine-Bluff tonight on the SWAC basketball game of the week. We're back after we take this timeout.
Cheddar cheese, now only 99 cents at the Bell.
Zesty. Zesty.
A run that at Arkansas Pine-Bluff did not want by Texas Southern has just happened. A 13-point lead now by Texas Southern with 15-16 left to go here in the second half of the game. Texas Southern doing it with steals. And while we were away, the Irish Spring Sports 3-point shot contest was won by this young lady, Robinette Alexander. She'll not only be receiving some gifts from Irish Spring Sport, but also from Reebok. Our congratulations to our 3-point shootout winner here at Pine-Bluff tonight, Robinette Alexander.
You see that determination?
Maybe Golden Lions could use this young lady.
I was about to say, Coach B might need to call her because he had the tongue licked out, made the 3, kept shooting.
Down inside, will be an offensive foul, and trying to spin for the basket is Justin Lloyd. Lloyd, just a sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee, checking in and draws the foul. Ball back to Texas Southern. That's another turnover, number 15 of the night now by Arkansas Pine-Bluff.
That foul was called on number 24, Justin Lloyd, his first.
Coach Blevins, they'd actually whistled that, or at least they had scored it on the table to Jefferson. They wanted to make sure that went on Lloyd, not Jefferson, which would have been his third for UAPB, and that would be not something they can use. Texas Southern doing what they know how to do. Take advantage. Bennett gets it off inside. Tommy Ballum. Oh, the left-hander's up and good.
That's what I found.
And Ballum, the defensive end for the football team, a role player, defender, and rebounder, knocks in his second field goal of the night, and now a ball sent at center court, and Ballum again tumbling out of bounds, trying to save it again.
He's a football player. Finished the season about 74 at TSU. Coach Thomas got to be happy about seeing dive after the ball. But he just made the play. The ball came in his hands, put it up. He knew what to do with it with the left hand.
Coach Moreland made the comment. He said, we know he's a football player. He is a hustler, but we know he's a football player. But he's played well tonight, though, huh? 14:42, the ball last touch by Texas Southern as Elmswiller makes a great save under a lot of duress. And now he's going to be forced to take a timeout here as he could not get the ball away, and a 30-second timeout taken by the coach. As Coach Blevins wants to take the timeout here for UAPB. By the way, gives us time to remind you that UAPB, they of course will have a Monday night game. They'll be going to, well, actually they'll be home here against Prairie View A&M. Then on the 27th, they'll travel to Grambling, and then they'll be back home with Jackson State. And again, a couple of games here for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. The schedule on the other end, Monday night at Mississippi Valley for Southern. Then they'll be back home with Alabama A&M on Saturday, and Monday they'll play Alabama State. So a key win tonight if they can get it. Another one coming up on Monday, and of course 2 on the road in Alabama.
Big games coming up for both teams.
By the way, we'll be on the road on Monday night, a great one. This is the showdown early. Alcorn State, Alabama State, 9 o'clock Eastern. Check your local listing for the station and time in your locale.
Coach Spiver against David Whitney, the legend.
Ballum comes away with a steal on the inbound, gets to Bennett. Bennett says, nah, I'll just go ahead and take the shot. Rebound comes off to Jones. Stolen by Ballum from behind. Leaves for Miller. Miller had that partially blocked by Elmswinger, and it still goes in as Miller knocks down his 11th point of the game. 38-23, make that 40-23. A 17-point lead here by Texas Southern.
In the beginning of this half, we thought Pine Bluff was ready to make the run. They scored on the easy play, but since they haven't been able to put the ball in the hole.
Jones having that one knocked off his face, stolen there. Here's Hollis. He misses the jam, but he's knocked out and fouled by Vickers.
Hollis is only 6'2". He can leap.
My, oh my, Rocky will go to the line and shoot 2. Again, the ball knocked away. Vickers couldn't get to it, but Hollis does. Almost carried it.
Might have got away with a carry, but look at that. Got it in the air. Boom. That's the only thing you got to do. And went after him at the chest. Didn't want to take him out, make the hard play. Foul him. Don't give him the dunk.
I look back to one play. The inbounded pass by UAPB. They're down. I think it was like 26-21 at that time. A basket would cut it under the 5 points, and then they lose it out of bounds. They get a jam on the other end. Easy breakaway by Ballum, and that made it a 28-21 game.
And it's been downhill ever since for Arkansas Pine-Bluff. And you know, we talked about it at the opening of the game. They're only averaging about 26 points a game in the first half. Well, they had 21. They're only averaging as a season 57 points. If they don't start shooting better, they're not going to get to 57. And again, part of that's TSU defense. But a lot of them, when they look over this basketball game, missed opportunities at the free throw line and in the field, and uncharacteristic, unforced turnovers will get you every time.
Rocky Hollis makes it a 42-23, 19-point lead now by Texas Southern. UAPB struggling to find some magic here. Packworth being covered up by Hollis. Goes to Elmswinger, goes to Jefferson off the baseline. Jeremy's shot tapped around, rebound comes off to Hollis, and he's everywhere. Rocky to Bennett, plays it up, no good. Tip up inside, good by Ballum, and the football players having a night here.
First and 10.
From Jacksonville, Florida Christian High School, defensive end on the Tigers football team has 6 points and a 44-23 lead.
Coach Moreland said to me the other day, he's happy with what he does. He creates plays, found the space. He forced that turnover by coming out and contesting a minute ago. Great play, great enthusiasm by Texas Southern right now. pushing the ball. Look at that. Look away. Boom, look away. Lays it up. Missed the layup. But the big fella's there to tip it, keep it alive, and get me 2 points.
Ballum, by the way, is right-handed. You saw him tip that nicely with the left hand as Miller tries to drive, and they foul on the outside against UAPB, and that'll go on Vickers, and that's his third.
And you got to keep in mind that this Texas Southern team was a semifinalist last year, and they lost 2 of the most dynamic players in the SWAC, and Ifeanyi and also Patrick Dice. They lost some players. They lost 4 kids last year on a team that was 14 and 13, and now having to rebuild. Got a lot of young kids on this squad. They're going to get better. This game could be a confidence booster for them down the season.
By the way, you add Derek Malone to that, took 41 points and 16 rebounds away from that club of last year when they went 15 and 14. Hollis again on the foul against Hall. Hall will pick up the foul. And that'll be team foul number 6 already on UAPB.
Sam, something else that really comes to mind right now as I watch this basketball game. What a lovely complex this is here at Arkansas Pine-Bluff. But Texas Southern's done a great job of taking his crowd out of the ball game. They were really excited about this game, but they haven't given a lot to cheer about.
That one, Hall got the block on Hollis. Finally comes off inside. They try to alley-oop to Jefferson, and they finally got the big fella shot he needed. So Jefferson coming from Hackworth, a nice jam, only the 4th point of the night by Jeremy Jefferson. The averaging 11.8 and 11.2 rebounds. He's already there on the rebounds, but far away on the points, has only 4.
I thought Hackworth may have waited too late to get it pass up, but he got it up in the air, and the big fellow went after it.
Tommy Ballum again comes up with another rebound. Miller for 3, got a bump foul inside, and Ballum battling for a rebound position, draws the foul on Corey Williams, number 50. First foul on Corey Williams to just check in. The second now on 7th on UAPB, so it's 1 in the penalty by Tommy Ballum, and you have a feeling that Tommy's having quite a night.
Oh, he's having a good time. He's getting to bump and push a little bit inside, bump and grind it all night long, and gets to the free throw line. Again, he's happy. He created that play. Could have also been a 5-point play had that 3 gone because the shot was taken before the whistle blew.
16-4 run in the half.
Yeah, he's a football player.
Ballum, he hammered that one pretty good, didn't he? And he also forgot to call boards. Rebound comes out, and finally Ballum gets it to Bennett. Bennett at the foul line takes too many steps. Good intention, but just didn't quite get it off in time. 13 turnovers by Texas Southern, only the second of the second half. They had 11 in the first half. Taking a little bit better care of the basketball.
Somehow Arkansas Pine-Bluff has got to find a way to score some points and put some pressure on Texas Southern, because TSU will run their offense, their half-court set, and be very content to go away with this 19-point win.
Coach Moreland told us on the telephone, he said, hey, we played a lot of people to get ourselves ready for the SWAC championship and the run. This starts the real SWAC year.
So we got to have this weekend.
He called it an important one. Corey Williams fouled from behind by Ballum. And Tommy drawing a personal foul. You know, he's all over the stat sheet right now. Gets a personal foul, has 5 rebounds, has 6 points.
Has a couple, got tip in, got some rebounds, had a free throw, had a brick.
Substitution, Bennett checking out of the game. Checking in for Texas Southern is going to be Jarvis Boger, as he'll check into the game for Texas Southern, but he won't play until after the timeout. Exactly a dozen minutes to go before the end of this one at UAPB, as the Golden Lions have some catching up to do. Can they do it this way? They need a lot of this to try to get back in the game.
Cream as much as you want. Live life. Make sparks. New Colgate Sparkling White.
Well, the fans have, they started early, but
they're
may not finish here. They've had a long night. Their hometown crowd trailing by the score of 44-25. You know, excelling the classroom and on the athletic field is something this guy does well. Jeremy Jefferson, 3.15 grade point average, majoring in industrial technology right here from Pine-Bluff, Arkansas. We salute him as the man. That's our scholar athlete of the night. 4 points along with 11 rebounds tonight by Jeremy Jefferson.
Great success story. A walk-on from Pine-Bluff, comes in here, is making a name for himself, not only on the basketball floor, but definitely in the classroom. Industrial what?
Technology.
What? All right.
Dr. Davis, by the way, said this is one of the most recognized schools all over the country over technology. So He's kind of following through with that.
I'm glad he is. I don't know what it is, though.
And a jump shot off the baseline up and good. And Billy Hall gets his first 2 points of the night.
Nice lefty.
And a 44-27 game, and now some pressure by UAPB. Jefferson overruns a possible steal. Miller has it. Steps out of a double team to ball him. Back to Miller. You know Miller looked at that three. Now a travel's going to be called, and too many steps by Rocky Hollis.
Like to see Pine-Bluff come in like that after the timeout and put some pressure on him, force a turnover. And then what you've got to do is score quickly, use your timeouts, use your resources. 11 minutes to go. Make a defensive stand and get some high percentage shots. Get the ball back into the big fella's hands. And we haven't called Emsweiler's name a lot in the second half. Get it in his hands. He's got good footwork and a nice touch around the hole.
He is back in the game, replacing Corey Williams. Emsweiler at the top with number 40 on his jersey. Vickers setting the screen that time, and Billy Hall with a drive. And in the NBA, that would have been a continuation, but not here.
That's smart, though. He takes the ball, makes a little drive fake, and goes to the hole and gets a foul. Make the free throw. That's what they're calling on the ground, I guess.
Yep. Personal foul will be called on Bennett, I believe. Or Hollis as the inbounder coming in, and the goaltend is called. So a goal scored inside as the goaltend is going to go. That time on Bulger, who went up too high. Bulger, a freshman out of Dallas. James Madison High School gets the goaltend. And here comes Bennett back in the game as the last foul, by the way, was called on Hollis.
Can't pin the ball on the backboard. Defensive goaltend.
Down low, trying to get the ball on the baseline, and that time Bulger cannot hang on to that pass by Timmons. In out of his hands and out of bounds. And it is a 44-29 game. As now all of a sudden 6 unanswered points here by UAPB.
Got to catch it first. Now you got to take advantage of it, Pine-Bluff.
They trail by 15. Vickers out to Hall. Good three-point shooter. Won't get that one, though. Tipped out, picked up by Jefferson. Back to the hole. He deals it off. Hall in trouble, and then tries to throw it up, but a whistle and a foul, and it's going to go on Bulger.
Good aggression that time by the Lions. They're roaring now. Going inside, getting some rebounds, getting a couple of fouls.
So after a 16-4 run, 6 unanswered points by UAPB. That's at least a little glimmer of hope here for them. After they trail as many as 21 in the game. And Billy Hall goes to the line, a true freshman. Bench player against Ole Miss. He came off the bench for 11 points in the first game. As they go to the line, is going to miss again. And am I correct in saying that is now over for 11 at the foul line now by UAPB? Man alive, where is the foul shooting gone? Hall will have one more coming. They're now 0 for 12.
Sam, they're not concentrating. They're not standing at the line. They're just tossing the ball up there. You got to stay there. You got to finish and follow through.
10:47 to go. That is Bennett. Rebound Miller. Miller has it poked out of there by Emsweiler. Hall gets it to Hackworth. Maybe the Golden Lions are back.
Whoa! No, he didn't.
What a nice layup that time by Hackworth to leave that for Jefferson.
He got off the floor quick. Boom!
Jefferson almost got in the hoop and left the ball behind.
Yes, wow. He out-jumped the ball.
Bennett breaks the press. Miller looked for a three. 44-31. Shot by Miller. Rattles no good. Rebound comes off to Underwood.
Got to get a rebound.
Fresh shot clock for the Tigers. 10-12 to go in the half. Miller driving left-handed layup. Rebound Emsweiler. Oh my. Antoine went up and said, "This is all mine."
Give it up, big fella.
Vickers and Hackworth worked it up. Bennett picks him up at center court. Reached for the steal, but knocks it out of bounds.
Got to protect the ball better, Hackworth.
By the way, Bennett wanted to fall into the Texas Southern broadcast area down the way, so make sure they'd say his name back in Houston. And they do. Inbound on the left-hand side to Jefferson. Jefferson he got some new life. There's a shot poorly put up by Vickers. And the rebound easily off to Texas Southern.
Got to have a better shot than that. He's a senior.
Well, you could see the dejection by Coach Blevins across the way after that shot was taken.
Because a shot like that, Sam, will take you out of the run. You can shoot yourself in a game, and you can very easily shoot yourself out. That was not a good shot by Vickers.
Blocking foul is called on Jefferson. That's his third. Of course, the 8th team foul. One in the penalty here at the line for Bennett. Ricky Bennett, 2 for 4 at the line tonight. He has a total of 11 points as Jones comes in and Vickers out for UAPB. Here comes Butler back in, and Ball, one of the true heroes of this second half for Texas Southern, will check out of there. As Butler, one of their starters, back in for the Tigers.
Baum did a good job while he was in the basketball game. Got his name, like you said, all over the stat page. Diving after loose balls, getting some rebounds, picking up a foul, making a steal. What you want out of a kid like that. As the coach said, he's happy with what he does.
Bennett with one more free throw. You know, last year Texas Southern was 15 and 14, as Bennett's going to get the second one as well. They finished the conference at 10 and 4, so it shows you how they're able to turn a season around after winning only 5 in the preseason.
Well, it's just like Coach Andy Stoglin said to me last week when we were down at Jackson State. We're only going to get one team in the NCAAs. We're not going to get an at-large bid. So you've got to play for the conference, for seeding, and for the tournament.
There's Hackworth, got the roll. Thaddeus Hackworth gets only his 7th point of the game. His first field goal of the half. It's 46 to 33.
Extend your defense now. Get your hands in passing lanes.
Out of bounds by Elmsweller. Jefferson tried to go out of bounds to save it, but to no avail.
And Sam, that's why you've heard me talk all night about making bounce passes. If you make a bounce pass to Underwood, he's going to catch it and score. That little air pass there is deflected, but it gives Arkansas a chance to play defense. But you got to put something on these passes to the post.
From down 21 to within 13 here, a little bit more enthusiastic UAPB club, and the fact that their main man Jefferson has got off a little more. Bennett with only 7 to shoot. In trouble, has it stolen. It's Hackworth. He leaves it for Jefferson, overthrew him. He was expecting the alley-oop, but he was just passing it to him down low, and he never could gather himself.
Too much dribbling on the TSU end and not taking care of the break. Spread the floor, give yourself passing angles and driving angles. Make that lift. You got to take advantage of turnover opportunities.
Well, Coach Blevins will group with his youngsters, while on the other end, Coach Moreland will do the same as Arkansas Pine-Bluff, after seeing them being outshot 16 to 4, raced off to an 8-0 spread for them. And Coach Moreland's not exactly a happer camper on the other end for Texas Southern.
Well, I wouldn't either, because you had a 19-point lead, and the way you got it was by playing defense, going inside to your post players, making smart plays. They've gotten away from that, trying too much one-on-one. I wouldn't be surprised the next time down to see him run something half court, run 20, 25 seconds off, go inside, and then back outside.
Coach Moreland's been around 37 years of collegiate coaching. He won back-to-back SWAC championships in 94-95. His all-time winningest team, he is the all-time winningest coach there. Ed Adams had won 264 victories, and now, of course, in 26 years, 395 wins by Coach Moreland. And, you know, I thought he put it so well when you said, what's the secret to longevity? He says, great players.
Great players.
Alonzo Bradley, Harry Kelly was Machine Gun Kelly. Fred West, and many, many more that's kept him at the peak of his career.
Machine Gun Kelly, one of the few players in college basketball in all divisions to score over 2,000, 3,000 points actually, and also have 1,000 rebounds. Tremendous player.
Steal by Hackworth, ahead to Jones. Jones will lay it in. Jefferson was there if he's needed.
Take that ball in quick and lay it in.
Hey, Hackworth's been a key here in this comeback.
Well, he's been active. He's got the fresh legs. He's got his hands out. He's enthused right now.
All of this happening with 8:12 left to play. There's plenty of time. They've whittled a 21-point lead down to only 46-35. There's Hackworth with another steal. Scores and he's fouled. Thaddeus Hackworth is working on the MVP of this game tonight.
Hey, what a great play. You make the steal and you drive. Take it to the basket strong. It's what I've been talking about all night long. Finally, somebody listened. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to make the free throw. Watch this. There's a soft pass. Here it is right there. Boom, get it, and take it right to the basket. Don't look around. Don't play with it. Go to the hole. There's the foul, the hoop, the harm. Count it. Hackworth is going to break the snide. 0-12. He makes the free throw. I'm putting it out on the air right now. 70% free throw shooter. Watch it. Finish high, bounce, fall through in the hole.
And they make one. They're 1 for 13. 46-37, a 9-point game, and Hackworth trying to encourage the student body and the crowd to get back in this game. 8 minutes left to go. Our local stations along the way. We'll be back with more SWAC basketball from Pine-Bluff after this. The run is on.
app is a free Sprite or Rocket Cash. Online money you can use through Sprite.com. Drink Sprite, get Rocket Cash. Buy what you want.
This is the SWAC. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Alcorn State, Grambling State, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State, Prairie View A&M, Southern University, Texas Southern. This is the SWAC.
Well, that score is correct as Minnan Speed Stick brings you the second half of our SWAC game tonight from Pine Bluff. 46-38 down to an 8-point lead. A 16-4 run by Texas Southern got them up by 44-23 since that time. 15-2 run by UAPB.
They've done it by playing good defense and taking better shots, driving the ball to the basket, and finally making a free throw.
Timmon and Hollis running the ball inside to Chris Miller. Miller puts it up and at least brings a little bit of the back there with his 6 point of the half and his 13th of the game.
That was very important for TSU. They needed to score as well. Now we've got ourselves a basketball game these final 7 minutes. Execution there is going to be very important.
Hackworth, the leading candidate of my books for the star of the game, working. Gets it out to Jones, the freshman, drills a three. His third three of the game, 2 in the first half.
Half-court execution coming off the single screen. Makes the jump with the left hand. There's turnover.
Steal. Hall. Layup. Good. We're in a foot race to the finish now. 48-43. Texas Southern by 5.
1-2-2, three-quarter court press. TSU not handling. You can't pick your dribble up.
19-4 run by UAPB, and Hollis slips and falls. A turnover on Texas Southern, number 17 of the night.
And you ask yourself, if you're Coach Merlin, where were you going? You took the ball right down to the baseline, right into the teeth of defense. Now, Pine Bluff's got to be very smart on offense. Don't rush yourself. Run your offense. Get a good shot.
Make that a 20-4 run since they were down. 48-43. There's Jones slashing down inside to Hackworth, puts it up in the crowd and scores again. Thaddeus Hackworth, a walk-on last year, got a starting job this year, now has a total of 11 points, and his club is now within 3.
TSU picked the dribble up at half court. You can't do that.
Miller for 3. Bennett with a rebound for the Tigers, and they needed that.
Settle down, Tigers.
6:21 left to go. Texas Southern in almost total command, 44-23. UAPB has their crowd right back in it here at the Johnson Complex in Pine Bluff. And there's a bump foul call on Jefferson, and that's number 4. Jefferson's questioning it, but there's no question on it. Anytime you get that close to a driver, you're going to find yourself in trouble.
Actually, Jefferson probably got away with it 2 times. There's the first. You got the hand check right there and gets up on him. And there, that's what they call a foul. That's a good call. You got to be a little smarter than that. What you like is the effort of coming out and contesting.
Running the bonus, and he'll get the bonus. 7 points in each half by Chris Miller. Averages 16 for the season. A 65% foul shooter. Now is 3 out of 5. And he drills the second one.
Coach Blevins decided to keep Jefferson in the basketball game right now. He's a junior. You want to have him in there for nothing else. He's rebounding. Very athletic. A dunk make it rock this house again.
Stan, Texas Southern wanted an up-tempo game into the 70s. They looked like they were well on their way to doing that, but all of a sudden UAP just snatched it away from them.
Well, they did it because TSU didn't take care of the basketball, and they were easy on defense. They gave away shots like that.
Jones follow up Jefferson. Couldn't control. A foul by Jones.
If I'm Coach Blevins, I got to get Jefferson out of the game, Sam. I need him later on. I mean, I know it's 5:40, but you need him. He got away with over the back on the offensive end, and he probably fouled on the defensive end as well. I got to get him out for a minute.
And he's got 4 fouls. And at the line, Miller.
Oh, there's contact right there. Didn't call that one, got the second one, but I think I got to take him out and settle him down for a second because you're going to need him down the stretch.
Well, with 10 team fouls, and of course Miller in the act of shooting has 2 anyway. 18 fouls called on Texas Southern, so They're only 2 away from putting the Golden Lions at the line for 2 each time.
Keep in mind, Texas Southern's the #1 free throw shooting team in the SWAC at 72%. Arkansas Pine-Bluff, shocking, #9 out of 10 teams at 61%.
And 1 for 13 here in the game. You see the numbers, a double-double by Miller as he knocks that one in. And it's a 52-45 7-point lead.
And that's his 7th double-double of the season.
Chris Miller, we told you, a guy at 6'3", 220, plays much bigger than that 6'3", the rookie of the year last year as a freshman. #4 rebounder in the conference last year. He was just everywhere. Jefferson down inside. Our rebacks wants to watch working on each other, but Jefferson can't score.
Jefferson goes about 6'7", 6'8". Miller only 6'3", but Miller's so strong he can contain him inside.
18 on the shot clock. LaBelle Pogue trying to drive, and Bennett's going to reach, and that's 4 on Ricky Bennett. 9th team foul. 1 in the penalty coming here for UAPB.
If I'm TSU, I attack. Every time I see Jefferson on the floor, I try to go at him. If I'm on the other side of the floor, if I'm Arkansas Pine-Bluff, I've got to go at Miller and them. Both of them got 4 fouls, and they are the heart and soul of both of their basketball teams.
Pogue will be at the line, a 50% foul shooter. And he's going to miss there. They're 1 for 14 now. And on the rebound comes off, and UAPB will get the foul. And it's going to be on Gibson. And he put the ball down, and the referee says, I would like for you to go back and get the ball if you don't mind.
Please go get the ball for me.
And he did. At the other line, Chris Miller will shoot free throws, and now all of a sudden Texas Southern has widened to the crowd. They've stopped their turnovers, and they're starting to get some baskets while the clock is now dead, which is a good sign for of course, UAPB, but they're mounting up the score again.
And the way UAPB shoots free throws, you don't want that to happen because TSU's nailing all of theirs.
Miller has missed 2 out of the 9 that he has taken tonight. Good night for him. Look at the numbers, 17 and 11. We told you he's a good one. 53-45. He won't get that one. Emsweller with a rebound for UAPB. 5:17 to go.
Got a lot of time, Pine Bluff. You got to be easy. Go inside, outside. Get your shooters open.
Down inside to Jefferson, draws a crowd, drop step, layup good as he got the little jumper.
That's the first time tonight he's really taken that little power move.
I was going to say, where's that been all night?
Oh, I like that. Very strong move.
53-47.
A lot of time. I'm scared if I were coaching, I wouldn't want Jefferson in there, Sam. I'll tell you that right now. I think I'd have to have him on the bench.
Miller driving the baseline. Gibson going to get him a personal foul, and that'll put Miller back at the foul line, something you do not want to happen if you're UAPB.
If I'm coaching this basketball game right now, if I'm Pine Bluff, the way my team shoots free throws, I'm going to sit back and maybe even go zone a couple times, even though I know they shoot good threes. It runs some clock down. It keeps my big fella in the ball game come out the last 10 seconds, but you can't foul them. Right now, you fouled them, and they're knocking free throws in, and you're not at the other end.
Miller putting it down. Another key factor we mentioned very early. It's extremely hot in this building. This has been a big, big emotional brought as far as comeback here by UAPB, but they've used a lot of energy to come back. Now do they have enough gas in their tank to try to make it work?
Yeah, they do, I think. And the thing about it is that you see head coach Moreland, he's very cool. He's been using his Irish Spring. He's real cool. The speed stick, he's relaxed. Ain't no problem.
So as Coach Moreland works with his club along the sideline, Coach Blevins does the same thing on the other end. By the way, Coach Moreland, again, we made mention the winningest all-time winning coach. He's had 6 20-win seasons. Won the NIT back in 1977, and how about 95-96 when he made the big dance? Took Arkansas to overtime, the defending champions, and finally lost 79-78. Arkansas walked out of that one going, thank you, Lord, for that victory.
A shot that rolled off the rim at the buzzer. Could have been a 15 seed knocking off of number 2. Arkansas that year, I think, goes on and plays in the national championship and loses to UCLA. But this is a quality program at Texas Southern. The people of Houston have a lot to be proud of.
4 minutes 47 left to go here in tonight's game. 55-47 score. 8-point lead here by Texas Southern. Southern again on Monday will be at Mississippi Valley, while Arkansas Pine-Bluff will go right back in their own building. They'll play Prairie View A&M. Now, if you're Coach Moreland, You were upset. You hollered and screamed at him to get their attention again. Is he comfortable with what's happening once again?
If they win.
Okay.
If they win, he'll be comfortable. Other than that, he's going to be very disappointed at the way his team played in that mid-range in the second half. But, yeah, you've got to now extend the lead. And what's happening is that I think Texas Southern's going to play their strengths, which is a very deliberate basketball team and making free throws.
Jefferson gets the inbounds and gives it back to Gibson. 4:40 to play in a game that has seen Texas Southern threaten to throw the lid off of it. And a nice drive by Gibson, lays it in. He's got 4. And they've got 49. They're down by 6.
Nice isolation and one-on-one move. Gibson takes it right to the basket.
Hollis runs into a double team but gets it away. Timmons down the lane to Bennett. Blocked out of there by Jefferson. Get that out of here.
Made a statement right then. Watch how quick he gets up. Bam!
You gotta love that great athletic ability on both sides here tonight. Timmons. Hollis takes it in. Foul on his way to the hoop and got caught by his own teammate. Jefferson again went for the block, and I believe he got the 5th foul.
You just got the feeling that Jefferson was going to pick up a foul, a cheap one. That time they split the defense, and he had no other choice. But you just had the feeling it was going to happen. Watch this drive. Smart. Take it to the rim. There's the foul, right? Well, actually, I think Emsmiller may have gotten him.
They did, but they gave it to Jefferson. Certainly got the contact as well, and it'll be Vickers coming in, and Jefferson has to sit down.
So you mark that down with 4:16. If Jefferson goes out of the basketball game, what he could do is rebound for you. He'd give you the block shot in the post position. Now we got to see how Pine-Bluff is going to adjust.
6-point lead, fouls out with 8 points. Does have a dozen rebounds, though. Actually has 13. He added 1 to that total. Hollis missing on a free throw. Uncharacteristic of him. He'd gone 3 for 4, an 83% foul shooter. Drew Hollis came in with 9 steals. He's had 3 tonight. Nice night for Hollis. A top 48 player last year, getting his time in the sun here, and he knocks in the free throw.
Got to find some scoring if you're Pine-Bluff. You got to look for Jefferson there, his replacement. Vickers has got to find a step up. Brandon Jones has got to do something.
Answeller, I still think, is one of the keys inside going up against Underwood. That's a tough match.
Got to go to him.
He's down inside, doesn't make the drop step. 19 on the shot clock. Gibson running across the lane. Hollis hanging on and draws the personal foul on Rocky. That's team number 3, or foul number 3. And it will send Gibson to the foul line where he'll be shooting a couple of free throws. He, by the way, is the first cousin of Teddy, who's playing as the starting point guard for the University of Arkansas Razorbacks.
Great bloodlines in that family.
56-49 still. Can they make free throws down the stretch? 1 of 14.
If you're TSU, you almost say you just play, because it doesn't matter if you foul them or not, because of the inability of Arkansas Pine-Bluff to make free throws. Just play the game.
You know, they make free throws. This is a totally different game here.
Without doubt.
And he short-armed that one. It's almost like you're trying too hard.
Yeah. Just relax at the free throw line. You got to be very confident when you go to the free throw line. You know you're going to make it. If I were coaching right now, I'd say your feet may be too close together. We can't get a shot at that, but you got to get a wide base. Finish, bend your knees, follow through, extend, put your hand in the basket. This goes in.
Doesn't get it, but an offensive rebound down inside. Poe gets it back outside. Now down in low to Vickers. Vickers on a drop step in the crowd. He's going to be fouled. Underwood gets him, and back to the line they go. But again, Texas Southern saying, hey, that's all right.
You keep shooting, we'll keep fouling.
We're going to keep fouling. As long as you're going to go to the line and not make free throws, we're just going to keep hammering you. At the line now will be Michael Vickers. Vickers, a senior out of Pine-Bluff right here. Good defensive player. Averaged only 5 points a game last year. Came in averaging 10. But has been held only 4 tonight by the Texas Southern defense. And appearing Underwood, realized he had 5. Apparently they clamped one on him, but we'd given it to somebody else. But I had him down for 4, and now he has his 5th. He fouls out with 2 points. You see 4 points and 4 rebounds by Vickers.
Bend and extend. Never had a chance. See the line drive on that? Folks at home can really see it. That ball never got any arc on it, and he flicked it with his wrist. Yeah, Coach, I know. I be doggone too.
Coach Blevins absolutely cannot understand. 1 for 17. 2 for 18.
But it was a prayer. That was a toss.
So they finally get to the 50 mark, and believe it or not, even going 2 for 18, they trail by only 6 with 3:55. A lot of time still left to go. SWAC basketball continues from Pine-Bluff after this timeout. Don't go far. It's a good one. Sam Smith along with Stan Luter as we greet you back here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas at the Johnson Complex on the campus of UAPB. And a 56-50. Let's take a look at our Colgate total summary. And there you have it. Miller with 20 points, 11 rebounds. Hackworth a real key for UAPB in a comeback. 14 points and a rebound. But look at the free throws tonight. We had them unofficially for 2 for 18. They're 2 for 17 now officially.
Oh, give me an extra shot I missed. 2 of 17. Wow.
19 of 27 on the other side for Texas Southern. And Coach Blevins now sitting on, and he's saying, fellas, make a free throw.
Please make a free throw.
All right, the pressure's on now by UAPB. Timmons, Hollins, and Bennett, the Texas Southern.
Ball comes back in the basketball game. Power.
Side of ball by Elmsweller. And on Antoine, that's his third. And Tommy Balsam will go to the foul line and shoot a couple of free throws. He's 0 for 2 at the line tonight.
You can't be happy. After the timeout, you set up some three-quarter court pressure. 1-2-1. Beat it real easy, and they're able to get a layup and a foul. That makes you go crazy. Plus missing free throw.
At the line, Ballum, they had Elmsweller, which was totally inaccurate as Ballum tries to hammer down the backboard. He has only 3, does Elmsweller, and that would be a real death knell to UAPB with Jefferson already on the pine. 4:16 mark with 5 fouls. Tommy misses them both. Elmsweller comes off for the rebound. He's got 14 tonight.
If you're Pine Bluff, you remember that. You may want to foul him again the next time down.
Outside with the ball. Darian Jepson. Elmsweller. There's that drop step. Takes it in. He again, he did that so well early in the game, and he has not used it but only once in the second half. Drop step, and Ballum gets the foul.
They say he's got the quickest hands on the basketball team. Hit 10 and 12 against Alcorn. Turn the other way to reverse pivot. Use the right hand going into pressure. Gets the foul, a possible three-point play. That's a big play. The big fella can put some numbers up. Just started playing.
Looking for his 7th point, and he will get the roll.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my, they're on a roll now. They're now 3 for 18 and have made their last 2 free throws. And it's a 56-54 game. And 3:24 still left to go in the game. A 21-point lead by Texas Southern is now almost gone. Hollis to Timmons. 19 on the shot clock. Miller. They're nursing that clock down. Butler looking inside. Back out to Hollis for 3. And he got it. Big shot by Hollis.
Yes, it was a big shot with great rotation. Found a little gap in the trap and nailed a 3. Big-time jump shot.
By the way, the 54 on the board was inaccurate. It is 53. So it's 59-53. The score up by 6 here by Texas Southern. It was a 3-point game before that one went down. Elmsweller, there's that drop again. He puts one up on the board. Tipped that time by Hall, but couldn't control it. And here comes Miller. Takes it in on Jones and scores. And a couple of back-to-back baskets here. 22 points by Miller. And, of course, the big basket a moment ago and the 3 by Hollis have been real backbreakers here.
The 3 by Hollis, you got a game that's real close. That hurts you. Then you come out and you turn it over off a good shot opportunity and a lay-in, and all of a sudden the crowd gets quiet.
That 3 by Hollis could easily be the key play of the game tonight. Down inside, they try to get it to Vickers. From behind, he is fouled. He'll go to the line shooting 2 as Miller draws the foul. That, by the way, on Miller is his first foul of the night by Miller. 22 points. Of course, he's already got the double-double and has his first personal foul. Of course, Moreland, well, he may be a little easier, but probably not much.
He said, I've been here before.
To the tune of, my Lord. something like 800 games he's been there.
He's seen a few. Vickers not comfortable at the line whatsoever. It's almost like a shot put. He's got to follow through, relax, bend, extend.
0 for 5. Misses that one. 0 for 6. They now go 3 for 20. Texas Southern with only 2 minutes to hang on to this one tonight, and it has been anything but comfortable. Second half, a humongous run of 20-4 by UAPB, a 21-point lead down to a workable margin. But Texas Southern has continued to keep the pressure. Hollis, a 3. Miller with a driving layup have been the key play so far.
Playing right into TSU's hands. Look for the drive of the J.
Hollis for 3 again with 2 on the shot clock. Rebound comes off to Butler, and he'll score.
Oh, wow. That's a big rebound.
Butler gets over his second field goal of the night. 63-53. And the ball batted out of bounds on the far side out by Hollis. And UAPB will have it as here comes Hackworth back in, and Gibson will check out of there for UAPB.
Shot clock winding down.
Now
Gets the rebound. Butler puts it in.
Hall's going to go out, and Gibson's going to stay in, by the way. So they've got Jones, Hackworth, Gibson, along with the Emsweller and Vickers in there for UAPB. Hackworth trying to look inside for Vickers. 1:25 to go. 10-point lead, Texas Southern.
Got to get it up.
Jones for 3 out of the corner. Rebound comes off to Hollis. He's got a streaker. That's Timmons. He'll lay it in. That could almost break their back totally.
Get the gas and the bus. Get the sandwiches ready. It's time to go.
65-53. Just a minute to go now. What a turnaround here by Texas Southern after UAPB had gallantly come back in this game. Jones feeds it left side. Gibson for 3. Rebounding inside, tipped up by Jones. Miller had it for a moment, had it knocked off his knee and out of bounds. It'll belong to UAPB.
You know, you've got Texas Southern on the ropes. All of a sudden, Hollis comes in and nails a 3, and the follow-up, big plays. That just stretches it out, gives TSU the win.
So Chris Miller, one of our players to watch tonight, a double-double, including 22 points. But Jefferson on the other side, double figures in rebounds, but only 8 points before fouling out at 16. And his club will lose it by at least a dozen tonight with still 51 seconds to go. And I have a strange feeling. This is just a gut feeling on my part.
Okay.
There will be no running up and down the floor at practice tomorrow for UAPB.
Nah.
They will be shooting free throws from the time they get on the floor till the time they leave. Coach Blevins has had enough of that. With only a 3 for 20, they make free throws. They're in the game and might be on the verge of winning.
Could very well be on the one because you think of some of those that they missed from the front end of 1-and-1. But you know, it's a thing. It's a psychological thing. You got to work on technique. You got to just get the ball up and something. I think we talked about these soft rims. They get a chance to get the ball up. Some of their shots, they have no chance. It's a confidence thing. The more you shoot, the more you make, the more you want to go to the free throw line.
Well, Coach Moreland said an important weekend. He needed to get both victories. He looks like he's on the verge of getting their first when they go to Mississippi Valley on Monday. Inside Elmsweller had that partially knocked away by Butler and misses it badly as Timmons gets the rebound out from Miller. Cross court to Hollis. 39 seconds left to go. Back out to Miller. Up to Timmons. Vickers made a run at it. 21 on the shot clock. 32 on the game clock. Timmons inside. Miller all alone. 24 by the score of this game tonight. Chris Miller, who knocks it in for his 67 points on the board for his team. So from what was a 5-point game at one time, has mushroomed back up to 14. The miss off to Bennett. 16 seconds left to go. Jones will foul. The freshman gets his second, and Bennett back to the line to shoot free throws.
Carl Weber from Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Tamara Bonham, the staff of Arkansas Pine-Bluff, Mr. Jackson over at Texas Southern. All the people who got us through this, thank you very much. It's been a big help to us.
Our athletic directors, H.O. Clemens, a former coach and a great one here at UAPB, and of course interim athletic director Ennis Cabell down at Texas Southern. And all of those, including, of course, Jason Jennings, along with Carl Winkler, as you pointed out, and all the fine folks in their information office who have done their work and done it well tonight.
Had a good friend of mine, Sam, last year to tell me that used to be the SID, LaTanya Dunn, works with the Rockets there in the comments, was telling me, hey, TSU's going to be a team on the rise. Kevin was right about that. This is a good basketball team. Enjoy watching. Hope we'll see them again in the tournament.
69-53. This will not be a game that will show you how tough UAPB played in the second half. They came from 21 down to within 5. And right now they're on the verge of losing this one 69-53 unless a shot goes here. Hackworth will try it. He will go to the line and will shoot some free throws, but that's not even a guarantee for UAPB tonight.
I tell him, don't foul me. Don't foul me.
That's right. Let me shoot. Hackworth, Hackworth has been one of those, and I credit him as being one of the MVPs of this game because he almost took this team on his shoulders to bring this club back. The fine junior from Dallas who was a walk-on last year. And again, now they go 3 for 21. I hate to keep drilling that in, but that is definitely the key of this game tonight.
No, without a question.
Texas Southern stopped their turnovers. They had 11 at halftime. They ended up with a total of 17 as a foul shot is finally up and good that time by Hackworth. 69-54. Will that be the final score? Not of this shot. Anything through with it. Rattles. Vickers off for the rebound, and that's it. This game is in the books. So the final score again goes 69-54, but again a gallant effort by UAPB to come back from 21 points down, 7 at the half to make it a game. But finally the play of Miller, who's our MVP along with Bennett and others, put this one away for Texas Southern. Well, it was the night that UAPB, of course, was hoping to come up with a victory tonight, but it was not to be as they lose to Texas Southern with a score of 69-54. And, of course, the man who was our Reeboks ones to watch, Chris Miller, turned out to be the man. Double-double tonight, including 24 points, and he is our forward MVP for tonight.
Chris Miller did it inside. He did it outside. Some of his shots didn't always find the mark, but he goes after it on both ends, drives to the hole, had a great game, and 9 of 12 from the free throw line.
And, of course, if UAPB could have shot like that at the foul line, it'd been a different story tonight. But, again, Chris Miller, again, our forward, most valuable player tonight with his double-double with 24 points and 14 rebounds, lead Texas Southern to a 69-54 win. We're back with more comments after this timeout.
This Southwestern Athletic Conference broadcast is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of SWAC basketball and the family of SWAC universities. By Colgate Sparkling White, so they'll notice your Colgate smile. And by Speed Stick Ultimate by Minute. No stick is stronger, no stick lasts longer.
Well, a big night tonight by Texas Southern as they move their record now to 4-10, but now 2-2 in the conference, while the Golden Lions drop to 1-13 for UAPB and 1-5 in the conference, 69-54. This was a game of runs tonight, and it was 28-21 at halftime in favor of Texas Southern. A 16-4 run by Texas Southern took their lead up to 44-23, leading by 21 points. That's when UAPB and the crowd started getting into it. They went on a 20-4 run and cut this all the way down to a 5-point game. It seesawed back and forth at 4, 5, and all the way up to about 9 again and back down to 6. But then one of the key plays of the game turned out to be a three-pointer from the outside, and that started a big run, and the floodgates were open again. Let's take a look as it was by Mr. Hollis. He squared up from the outside, and this is our play of the game brought to you by Colgate. That made it a 59-54 lead, and from that time on, it was no looking back for Texas Southern as they go on to win it here tonight by the score of 69-54. We cannot tell you enough about Chris Miller tonight as our player of the game. Other side, only 2 players for Arkansas Pine-Bluff in double figures, led by Hackworth. Our MVP on that side with 13. 11 points by Jones. Only 8 points tonight, however, by their key player, and that, of course, is Jeremy Jefferson. And therein lies one of the problems, along with being unable to make foul shots. Only 4 for 22 tonight by UAPB. We're going to take a brief timeout. We're back with more. We'll be trying to catch up with the Texas Southern head coach, Robert Moreland. All of that and more as we'll roll on with our wrap-up here from Arkansas Pine-Bluff in a moment. Come up and win, as a matter of fact, his 669th game. What do you say after a game like this? We're going to find out. Robert Moreland is standing by with Stan Luter.
Coach, congrats.
Thank you very much. It wasn't the kind of basketball that we wanted to give you, but we'll take a victory anytime.
Got to be impressed by the play of Chris Miller. I mean, he shoots a lot of outside shots, doesn't always make those, but goes inside, had 14 rebounds, had a double-double again.
Well, Ricky does a good job for us. We have to depend on Ricky, but one player that I'm most impressed with was Tommy Ballum, a football player. Tommy's a great football player on our football team, but Tommy really gave us some momentum in that first half. He was all over the floor on the defensive end of the court. So I just wanted to praise him for what he did. But, Ricky and Chris are players that we have to depend on, and they are the players that when we go down the stretch, I look over my bench and I don't see those other people over there, so I look back out there on the court and they're out there, and that's Ricky and Chris. But Ricky made some mistakes tonight, but he made up for them. Chris, we know he's going to get those rebounds for us. I don't know how many he got tonight, but we know that Chris is going to be in there for us. So those are the two players that we look for to give us some momentum. Both were freshmen on the all-freshman team last year. Chris was the freshman of the year in the conference, and they've been playing some good basketball for us, and they're going to get better.
Coach, you guys had a 15-point lead midway in the second half, and you were comfortable. We took a shot of you on the bench, and you were sitting back relaxed, and everything was good. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point ball game. What happened?
Well, actually, it was 21. 21-point lead.
I was trying to be kind to you.
Yeah, you were. It was a 21-point lead, and when they got it back down to 3, but, that's the momentum of the game. We came out, and we did a good job. We ran the score up to 21-point lead. We were putting it in the basket. They were not able to put it in the basket from the free throw line or the field. And then all of a sudden, the momentum changed. And they changed their style of play a little bit, and the momentum shifted totally in their favor, and they got it down to 3 points. And, of course, that's when I crossed my leg over there. I just gave up on the fact that, this is going to be one of those nights. But at that point, looked like the momentum shifted again in our favor, and they missed some free throws down the line. We made a basket here and there. Rocket made a big 3 for us to push it back up to 6. And from that point on, they looked like our defense picked up a little bit, our rebounding picked up a little bit, and then we were able to make the free throws and a few baskets and push the lead on back up to a 15-point victory.
When you and I talked on Friday, you said that this was a very important weekend for you. You guys had to win these 2 basketball games. Are you happy about obviously winning this game, and then where does it take you on Monday?
Well, I'm very happy about this ball game. This one is behind us now, so we don't have to worry about this one. But Monday we play Mississippi Valley. Mississippi Valley is a very good basketball team. In fact, Mississippi Valley might be the best team in the league at this point, although Alcorn beat them on their court. But Mississippi Valley played some outstanding basketball during the pre-conference schedule. They beat some good teams. And they're a big team. They're an experienced team. And it's always difficult winning at the Valley. But, we've done it many times, and we look forward to going in there on Monday. And I do believe that our kids will pick it up a little bit from tonight, and they'll play a much better basketball game because they know that Valley is a great ball club, a good ball club, and they know that in order for us to stay in this race, we have to have that basketball game.
Coach, you said something that strikes my interest, and we talked about this briefly the other day, too. The SWAC plays a very, very competitive schedule, but your non-conference schedule, I looked at some of the teams you guys are playing, it's the top 25 all over again. I mean, what is the mindset for coaches like yourself, and I've talked to several other coaches in the SWAC, about getting ready through that second season? Play that first season of non-conference games, and now coming into your conference play, and then eventually to the tournament.
Well, our philosophy has always been that we're not going to get picked at large. That's for sure from our conference. So we got to prepare for our conference and got to prepare to beat the teams in our conference and win our conference tournament. And we did that for a number of years, and we were very successful at it. And of course, most of the other teams now are basically going out and playing some of the outstanding teams in the country. Give you a feel as to where you are. This was not a good year for us, although Valley did beat a couple of good basketball teams. But we're going to get to the NCAA tournament because we win our conference championship. And so we get ready for that second season by going into that first season, and we know we make some sacrifices there. But nevertheless, this is our real season. This is the season for us.
Talk about for a minute, you're playing Valley on Monday night. We're going to get the chance to see Alabama State at Alcorn. We've seen TSU and Southern. Talk about some of the teams you've seen in the conference that you're scouting and kind of appraise the league right now.
Well, Alcorn went into the night, of course, 6-0. They've been playing some outstanding basketball. Of course, most of their games have been at home. This is a great test for them this weekend because they played A&M tonight. I assume that game is over by now. They play and they'll play Alabama State on Monday. Alabama State is one of the better teams in this league. Spivey has been there for now. This is his 4th year, I believe. He has a bunch of youngsters that he's been bringing along for 3 years now. They are juniors now, and they play some very good basketball. So it should be a very good test between Alcorn and Alabama State on Monday night. That should be a great ball game. But it's also of interest as to what might have happened tonight between Alcorn and Alabama A&M because Alabama A&M is also a good team. They have great tradition in their basketball program. But this was going to be one of those great weekends because the top teams were going to get out there and they're going to play one another. And hopefully, some people are going to knock one another off so to leave the rest of us some space to move up.
It's time to go, isn't it?
That's right. It's time for us to move on up to another notch. And so that's what we're looking forward to. And it's a great weekend. This is a great weekend of basketball for SWAC.
Sam, this is a guy that's got almost 700 wins, and he acts like he's got, his first one. He's still uptight right now. Listen, after the game's over. Great win tonight.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to have y'all with us also. It's hopefully the fans out there enjoyed the basketball game. But SWAC basketball is great basketball. Monday night is going to be a great basketball game.
Coach, thank you very much. Sam, back to you.
Thank you, Stan. Let's take a look at our Budweiser stats so far tonight. And, of course, the telltale sign that 4 for 22 at the foul line for UAPB, 21 of 31 at the foul line for Texas Southern, 22 of 62, 23 of 56. As you see, a few less shots for UAPB. And, of course, the rebounding, 51-39, a dominating night for the Tigers. 21 turnovers by the Tigers, and 18 on UAPB as the Tigers took a little better call of care, as did UAPB of the ball in the second half. If there's free throws going down, the Golden Lions have a very good opportunity of staying in the game and possibly picking up a victory. And as we showed you, shot after shot of Coach Blevins, almost a night that he could not believe as you take a look at the numbers on our Budweiser stat sheet for tonight. Well, speaking of Coach Harold Blevins, again, a tough night as he watched free throw after free throw go awry. Let's go to courtside. Here's Stan Luter again. Stan?
Be a very difficult loss for you.
Well, without a doubt. It's extremely difficult loss, especially when you're at home. You feel like you had a chance coming in to win the basketball game. And we played pretty good basketball down the stretch. Just couldn't put the ball in the goal from the free throw line.
Good news, bad news. Good news, you've got some great athletes, young kids that are going to get better. You got to be happy about that.
Oh, without a doubt. We played. We got one senior on this basketball team. We got 3 or 4 good freshmen that we feel like is going to really turn this program around, and we're looking forward to continue to participate Monday night for our next ball game.
Now for the bad news, free throw shooting. I say it's psychological sometimes. As good as athletes, guys can shoot the basketball. Is this something that's plagued you all season?
Well, yeah, for some reason. When you get into practice and you talk to your young men about the importance of free throws, but when you break down, they have the tendency to try to, do other things, talk about other things instead of concentrating on the free throw. And then when you get in the ball game, you started trying to concentrate and you can't, and you miss them. In the ball game, that's the bottom line. This ball game was lost for us from the free throw line.
But you feel like next week, the next game, this is something the kids can learn from, obviously.
Exactly. We'll be in here in the morning at 9 o'clock, and we're going to shoot free throws for an hour, I'm sure. So hopefully we'll, to help us when we get ready to play Prairie View on Monday night.
Before you leave, let me get a quick comment about Jerome Jefferson. I really was impressed by his athleticism. He can run the floor, jumps. Doesn't always look to score a lot, but does a lot of things for the defensive end. He's got a great upside, doesn't he?
Oh, he's a great young man. He's the only player, from the time I've been here that I feel like I have an opportunity to play at the next level. He can run the floor, he can jump, he can shoot the basketball. He played great defense. At this point, he's leading the SWAC in double-doubles. He come in this game number 5 in the country in D1 basketball and rebounding. So the kid's a great basketball player, and hopefully, he'll get better. He's just a junior.
Coach, thanks for spending some time with us. Tough loss, but I know you guys will bounce back again real soon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sam, I'll give it back to you.
Stan Luter, and our thanks to Coach Robert Moreland for his win and visiting with us, and also Harold Blevins for visiting here. A big night by Texas Southern as they win it by the score of 69-54. Texas Southern, as we heard, will be going to Mississippi Valley, while UAPB will be here going up against Prairie View A&M. The other game around the SWAC will be coming Southern at Alabama A&M, and our game should be in Dandy. Monday night, Stan and I will be in Montgomery, Alabama, as Alabama State goes up against Alcorn State. Tonight it was too much of Chris Miller, but a good night by Jefferson and others, as UAPB made a run, but not quite enough, as they lose it again to Texas Southern. For Stan Luter and all of our crew, this is Sam Smith saying so long. Thanks for joining us tonight from Pine-Bluff. Until we see you again.